All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I don't know which corner it's in because I never can figure these screens out. But there's a donation link in one of these corners, and it's pinned to the live chat. And for those of you watching on a replay, Spotify, YouTube, Grumble, it's going to be in your description as well. There's a link. You guys have been asking for how can you participate in alleviating the burden from my recently departed friend's family, his wife and 4 children. They still have to just sadly, when something happens, you have to bring the body back home. You have to get a dignified burial and so forth and so on. And so I got permission from his beautiful bride today that you can go to the GoFundMe page. So he was the sole breadwinner for his family. There are some pictures here if you just want to get to know him a little bit better. That's his oldest boy there. That is Jeff and his beautiful bride there. And of course, he spent quite a bit of time. I think it was a little over a year that he was suffering before, or I don't want to say suffering for a full year, but he was. It's still tough for me to talk about. I'm sorry, it's still very raw. But I did want to give people the opportunity. There were a lot of people who wanted the opportunity to donate to the family. So I would say if you normally super chat just to say hi, and don't particularly care if I read your, that's a great opportunity. You can direct that, a couple dollars, $5, whatever. If you can direct it to them, or be as generous as you want. Every dollar will go towards defraying the costs that they're facing, the very real costs that they're facing now, plus the ongoing costs of supporting their family while they figure out how to go forward. It's just a unbelievably tragic situation. So every dollar that you guys can manage for that family would be a dollar very well spent. I will tell you that. And 100% of that goes to them. If you give me money on a super chat and tell me to give it to them, by the time, the different entities take their fingers out of it, it's not as much, not 100%, not 100% going to them. So that I know goes to them. I'm not sure if there's like a small processing fee for the platform. I don't think there is, believe it or not. I think it gives you an option to donate a couple bucks to defray the cost. So, but I know, a lot of people end up watching the show, and if every one of them just gave $1, it would truly change that family and alleviate a gigantic burden that they have. So I promised you I would give you an opportunity to participate in that, get to know him a little bit. His name was Jeff. He is a remarkable man, a truly, truly remarkable man. And it was an absolute pleasure knowing him while he was here, and hopefully one day knowing him again in the future. We can all meet and in another realm and celebrate together one day. So that is that. I will leave that donation queue up there in the corner if you want to take advantage of that. Again, it's pinned to the live chat. And if you're watching on replay and you can't get the QR code to work, because I can never get these QR codes to work on people's screens, it'll be in the description of the video. I've learned through reading the comments on YouTube, people don't read the descriptions. People are like, hey, what's the timestamp where you talk about so-and-so? I'm like, it's in the description. Like after the show, I watch the video and I timestamp certain landmarks and I put it in, and the question you asked me is in the description. So I've learned not a lot of people read the descriptions. There's a lot of valuable information in there sometimes. So tonight, I hope if you normally don't read the description, that tonight is a day you actually do read the description. For the opening today, I want to kind of talk about a pretty famous case that I think preceded the online online investigation culture. But man, would it have been an interesting case to have fly through the podcast era. It was a really, really remarkable case that happened, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago now is when it actually happened. I think it happened in 2008, the trial a couple years later. And it is sort of it has sort of taken on a life of its own, but not a lot of people, particularly younger people, do not know the actual story, the facts of how it developed. And I raise it for a particular reason, and we'll talk about that when I get done with the open. Why I'm raising this, because tonight is not a night to you to passively watch. This is going to be an intense show. This is going to be a very detailed show. We have discovered some really weird behavior out of TPUSA, particularly with their website, particularly with other people's websites. Things that are happening on these websites are not normal. I will just tell you that right now. They are not normal. We all know when you go to a website that they know you've been there. They leave a little trace on your computer. They might pick up a little information from you and store it. We know that. We instinctively know that. But what we don't expect is what we're going to discuss tonight, which is truly bizarre behavior. Truly bizarre behavior. And not the type of behavior that an innocent nonprofit normally engages in. So when we get to that, you'll say, what does that have to do with the opening? Well, I'll do a little brief break between the opening and that to kind of explain why I'm doing an opening on the Casey Anthony story. Because Casey Anthony, you guys told me last night that you've missed that I rub my hands together. I did not know that was such a valuable part of the program, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen, because this is your opening statement. Casey Anthony was born in Ohio, believe it or not. She was raised in Florida, but born in Ohio all the way back in 1986. That would put her about 40 years old now. Her dad actually had a background in law enforcement. He was a deputy. Her mom was a nurse. So she came from a fairly educated professional family. The family later moved to Orlando, Florida. That's where Casey Anthony grew up with her older brother. Mom, dad, and older brother all lived there together. Her teenage years are probably, I think, accurately summed up as turbulent at best. She was not a great student. She struggled in school. She eventually dropped out of high school. She had very strained dynamics in her family. There were a lot of clashes reported between Casey and her parents as the case sort of developed and people started talking about her upbringing. In 2005, so this is over 20 years ago, in 2005, at the age of 19, Casey Anthony gave birth to a daughter. Her name was Kaylee Marie Anthony. She never publicly identified the child's father, but the family sort of embraced Kaylee and they brought her into the home. And despite the circumstances, Kaylee Anthony's birth was a cause of tremendous joy for the Anthony family. Casey and Kaylee lived with Casey's parents. And so outwardly, you had a typical multi-generational household. You had the grandparents, the parents, and the granddaughter all there in one house. But beneath the surface, there were a lot of tensions that still boiled over from, I don't know whether it was her childhood or just the dynamics of the family. But there was a lot of tension over her maturity, Casey Anthony's maturity and her reliability as a mother. And then there was a night where everything sort of changed for Casey Anthony, changed permanently for Kaylee Anthony. Because on June 16th, 2008, June 16th, 2008. So what made me think of this case a couple of days ago, because it was the 18th anniversary of this crime. If you're watching this on a replay, today's June 18th. So a couple of days ago was the 18th anniversary. June 16, 2008, Casey leaves her parents' home, and she has Kaylee with her. The cause for leaving appeared to be a heated argument with the parents. And then for the next 31 days, more than a month, Casey was continually confronted about where was her daughter, Kaylee. And she provided a series of conflicting explanations about where Kaylee was. She claimed at different times that the child was with a nanny named Zanny. I think she gave the full name of Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. She said at other times that Kaylee was staying with friends of hers. At the same time that Kaylee was sort of in this limbo state, no one really knew where she was, Casey was spotted out partying. She allegedly got a tattoo during this period of time. She was living what looked on the surface to be a pretty carefree life. On July 15th, 2008, Cindy Anthony, Kaylee's mother, made a frantic 911 call. she had discovered her daughter's car had been impounded. And when she approached the vehicle, she noticed it had a very strong odor. And she later described that as smelling like decomposition. And that's when Casey finally admitted to her mother that Kaylee, the granddaughter, Casey's daughter Kaylee, had been missing for a month. She told police that Zanny, the nanny, Zanny rhymes with nanny, that Zanny had kidnapped Kaylee all the way back on June 9th. So law enforcement immediately leaps into action. Why wouldn't they? There's a missing child. But they determined that Zanny didn't exist. Not that they could find. There was apparently no such nanny at the address where Casey Anthony said she lived. And the story began to unravel under scrutiny. So Casey was arrested. And she was arrested not on murder, not on manslaughter, but on child neglect. And another instance of providing false information to law enforcement. So now she's under arrest, and the search for Kaylee Anthony really intensifies. Fast forward to December. So we were in July. Now fast forward to December. It's been several months. December 11, 2008, a utility worker discovers skeletal remains in a wooded area near the Anthony family home. And the remains were later identified as Kaylee Anthony. They did it through dental records. The medical examiner ruled the death a homicide, but there was really no way they could determine the exact cause of death. And that comes into play in the trial in a big way. And because the body was so decomposed, the medical examiner says, we're going to say it's a homicide because we have a buried skeletal 3-year-old, but we don't know how she died. But the prosecutors began to construct a case against Casey Anthony. It was built largely on circumstantial evidence. This evidence included things like her lies to the investigator. And then you had a series of really weird pieces of evidence that a lot of people thought would nail Casey as guilty. For example, there were computer searches on the family laptop for words like chloroform or how to make chloroform. And even worse, foolproof suffocation methods. Well, these are pretty damning searches when you're dealing with a deceased 3-year-old. So the trunk of Casey's car was then tested. And believe it or not, would you believe it, in the presence of those searches, those search terms, her car tested positive for traces of chloroform, but also human decomposition. Well, the prosecution then brought out a series of witnesses that testified about Casey Anthony during the time Kaylee was missing. And they focused on things like her being out partying, her getting a tattoo, her living a relatively carefree life. And that was the prosecution's case. They developed a theory that they sold to the jury that Casey had killed her daughter to free herself from the responsibilities of motherhood. Then, after having successfully killed the child with chloroform, concealed the body, and fabricated a kidnapping story that included inventing a woman named Zanny the nanny. Well, you can imagine the media picked up on this case, and it became a national obsession. From the moment Kaylee was reported missing, cable news networks basically went around the clock, wall to wall. It wasn't exactly a slow news cycle. This was the beginning of Obama mania back in 2008. So we're in the summer of 2008. Obama is this new transformational political figure. So we've got election coverage, but we also have this underlying Casey Anthony case going on. It became truly a national obsession. Networks like Headline News with Nancy Grace basically talked about nothing else. Nancy Grace dubbed Casey the tot mom. That's how she referred to her, the tot mom, and had these salacious, we would call them in the podcasting world, we call them thumbnails, but these were like her title images of Casey Anthony as tot mom. And she relentlessly proclaimed her guilty. I mean, like, not using the word allegedly, not saying in her opinion, just guilty. This girl is guilty. She's a monster. I mean, Nancy Grace went all in against Casey Anthony. And it became one of the first major social media trials. We didn't have, again, YouTube streaming at the time, but we did have Twitter. I was on Twitter back in 2008. I got a Twitter account, I think, in 2007. So they had a Twitter coverage of this. I remember back in 2007, this is an aside from the opening. If you had like 3,000 Twitter followers, you were a baller. You were a G. Like you had so many Twitter followers. You might as well have been famous. 3,000 Twitter followers? Are you out of your mind? That was insane numbers back then. Like that was the top people in the country. But anyway, I digress. But you had early Twitter. You had blogs. You guys remember blogs? There were people camped outside everywhere trying to get a picture of everything they could find. They were camped outside of the home, camped outside of the courthouse. By the time the trial rolled around, they issued 600 press passes for the trial. Networks literally built like broadcast booths outside the courthouse. People magazine stationed writers daily at the courthouse. And they had specials like ABC's Crime and Punishment, the Casey Anthony story, that aired on national television, network television, big ABC. It was relentless. It was absolutely relentless. And it was often sensational. So everybody sort of started to coalesce around the idea that she would be convicted. Particularly in light of the fact that photos of Casey Anthony out partying were circulating pretty widely at the time. And also, sadly, pictures of her daughter, a little smiling, toddling 3-year-old. And public outrage began to boil. I mean, this was intense. Casey was vilified. She was called a heartless monster. The case drew comparisons to other really high-profile child victim stories. All of a sudden, that people were worried. People started getting calls if you looked at your child wrong. They would think you're, next thing you know, 31 days later, they're going to find your child in your trunk of your car or buried in a shallow grave behind the house. I mean, it was really a wild time in America. Early social media sort of became the unofficial jury. And comment sections basically called for the worst for Casey Anthony. I mean, it was unbelievable. She was guilty and everyone knew it. That was the story at the time. And they were calling for the death penalty and they were calling for all kinds of stuff. Keep in mind, this was all before a jury was sworn in. This is all before anyone saw a single piece of evidence. And then the trial begins, May 24, 2011. It was 6 weeks long. It had some dramatic moments. The lead prosecutor presented a circumstantial case, and argued Casey used the chloroform to sedate and ultimately kill her daughter. The defense came back with what can only be described as a truly shocking alternative narrative that nobody expected. This came out of left field. It truly shocked the conscience to hear about it. The story was that Kaylee accidentally drowned in the family pool. That Casey's father, George, the deputy, helped cover it up and helped dispose of the body. They went further, though. Now they've involved the father in a cover-up of an accidental death. Then the defense started blaming the father of some really egregious criminal acts against his daughter, Casey, the mother of the young child, when she herself, the mother, was a young child. The father obviously vehemently denied this, but the defense highlighted this lack of direct forensic evidence that linked Casey to the murder. There were no fingerprints. There was duct tape found with the girl, but there was no way to tell how the duct tape was used or who placed it there. There was no definitive proof that Casey used any chloroform. There was no chloroform found, for example, other than trace elements of it in the trunk. And so it was a little bit of a surprise, I think, to most of the public, but not to the jury, because they only deliberated 10 hours. And on July 5th, the day after July 4th, they delivered a pretty stunning verdict. Not guilty, at least on all the big crimes. First-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, aggravated manslaughter. She was convicted of 4 misdemeanor counts of lying to cops. When they read the verdict, it was like a movie. The courtroom actually erupted inside the courtroom. People were just stunned by the verdict. Outside the court, the crowd outside literally gasped in unison. You can watch the video. They all gasp. Like Gary's revealed his chat history with Grok. I just took the breath out of the room. Nancy Grace, who had gone all in on Casey Anthony's guilt, in response to the verdict said the devil is dancing at the verdict. Now, legal experts kind of began picking apart the case and pointed really to the prosecution's strategy. They only charged her with first-degree murder, and they sought the death penalty. And that is a very high bar for a jury to accept. It was a circumstantial case. And the case, while compelling to the public because Casey Anthony became kind of a not likable person, frankly, I think she would probably even admit that, it left enough reasonable doubts for jurors whose only job is to see whether there is any reasonable doubt. So ultimately, the judge sentenced her to 4 years, but he had to let her go because she had served time waiting on trial. And so by the time you get time served in good behavior, she was ready to get out. She was released a couple of days after the verdict. And to add insult to the prosecution's injury, 2 of the lying convictions were later overturned on appeal. But the acquittal did not end the public's fascination, and it didn't end Casey's legal troubles. She had civil suits. She faced bankruptcy, obviously a flood of things like death threats. And so for a lot of years, she largely stayed out of the public eye. She was believed to be living in Florida under relative anonymity, maybe moved around to some other states. In 2017, she kind of resurfaces. She participated in a documentary series called An American Murder Mystery. Later, there was a Peacock documentary series called Where the Truth Lies. And in both, she maintained her innocence and remained steadfast in pointing fingers at her father. As of today, there's rumors about where she is. She pops up in public. I believe she used to live very close to me, and then maybe moved a couple of cities away. I don't know where she is. I don't really care where she is. But she's, I think, close to 40 years old. And she's launched a TikTok account. She has a Substack newsletter. She brands herself as a legal advocate and a researcher. Claims to have worked in the legal field since 2011, which is the year that she went to trial. And she, I guess, tries to help people navigate the justice system, advocate for themselves. She kind of a liberal, comments on women's feminist rights and LGBTQ AI2 minus 476 plus matters, and just current events in general. But she's trying to revive herself. She's posting videos, reintroducing herself. She has subscription content. I'm not sure what that entails. And is even weighed in on political topics. But no one really knows precisely where she is at any given time, and that's probably best for her because I think her safety could be in jeopardy. But it's reignited debates about the case because the case remains pretty polarizing. There's been a series of laws passed around the country or proposed around the country called Kaylee's laws. And these are proposals in a lot of states to criminalize a parent failing to promptly report a missing child. I'm frankly in favor of that. If you don't know where your kid is, you should report them missing. It highlighted the power and pitfalls, the case did, of media in shaping public perception of justice. And the Casey's case, is a cautionary tale. And that's kind of where I want to go with it. It's a cautionary tale about truth, deception, family secrets, but more importantly, the court of public opinion versus the actual courtroom, meaning what satisfies the bloodthirst of the public may not always be enough to satisfy the deliberative process of a jury. Kaylee's death was called a homicide by the medical examiner. There's never been a killer conclusively identified in court. For her part, Casey maintains her innocence. But one instructive point about the case, it's the principle that reasonable doubt must prevail if it is there, no matter how emotionally charged the facts are. Meaning, if the jury looks at the case and finds that there is reasonable doubt, They cannot get swept up in this fervor because they know the public is demanding some sort of punitive justice for something they, without looking at the evidence, believe happened. And that is your opening statement. And I bring that up for a specific reason because it doesn't really have much to do with what we're going to cover tonight. But something that's been bothering me as I patrol social media, particularly X, what a weird platform X is. You get all these anonymous, or people that think they're anonymous. You get all these people that think they're anonymous and they just throw bombs. And they say some really nasty stuff. But one of the things they say is that they've come to a conclusion about what happened to Charlie Kirk, and anybody who differs from it at all is a raging psychopath, a demon, a liar. But that's the way they thought about Casey Anthony. But when they got into the courtroom, the evidence wasn't there to convict her. It was all circumstantial. And I would argue that's kind of what's going on with Tyler Robinson. It's pretty much all circumstantial to this point. We see a guy walking on campus. He kind of looks like Tyler Robinson. We know Tyler Robinson's car may have come on campus and may have been close to campus at the time of the event. So we're pretty confident he was in the area, and then we lose him. We lose him from the camera for a long time. And then we see a guy scurrying across a roof, and we think, well, he's kind of dressed like Tyler was dressed a few, 8-10 minutes ago. Is that the same guy? And then he runs off, and then later we find a gun, and we're like, well, that seems to be his gun. And it looks like it has his fingerprint on it. So it must be, it's very circumstantial. And we just haven't seen the evidence yet. And it's difficult. It's difficult for me to understand how somebody could be so confident that they know who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. It's so difficult for me. And so we will continue to look at that, but I want to keep the burden in your mind. The very high, the very difficult burden a prosecution faces. It is totally different, totally 100% different than the burden of public opinion. It's very easy for us to kind of hive mind somebody's guilt. It's very, very difficult to, holy mackerel. I just looked at the donation page. Holy mackerel. You guys have come through in a really big way. Holy mackerel. You guys are amazing. Look at that. That was at $50,000 before I went live. Over 21, I would guess, thousand, probably more than that raised there. You guys know how thankful I am. If you knew the family, if you knew the wife and the kids, you would also be thankful. So thank you. Your humble host gets nothing from any of that. No one on earth gets anything from any of that. Maybe credit card processors get a small amount. I'm not sure. But the vast majority will go to his wife and kids, and give him a dignified burial and give them some time together as a family to grieve. Which I can't thank you guys enough. You guys have come through in such a massive way tonight. Thank you. Just in 30 minutes, thank you. So again, if you're tuning in late, if you normally send a super chat just to say, hey, if you have a question, you want me to answer it, and that's a good way to get me to see it. But if you normally are just like, hey, appreciate it, do that another day. Jump on that. There's a QR code at the top. There's a link in the description. There's a link pinned to the live chat. You can send that your donation there instead. And I will just assume you said hey to me. This is a new hoodie, by the way. It's navy blue. I had an old navy blue hoodie, but it became my default workout hoodie, and it was stained and had sweat and tears all over it. So I did splurge and bought a new one. So this is a brand new navy blue hoodie. It kind of looks like the black one, but I just wanted to point out I'm not wearing the same hoodie twice in 3 days. All right. Let me get into the topic tonight, because this is going to require your cap and gown. You're going to have to pull out your thinking cap tonight, guys. This is, there's a lot of density here. So what we wanted to see, we jumped into the TPUSA online environment. We wanted to see what kind of data was being either pulled from you or tracked when you leave TPUSA's website. So you go to TPUSA, say, who's on the board of directors? And you TPUSA board of directors, and the website comes up, and you want to see who the board of directors are. Oh, a guy named Doug DeGroot. Oh, great, Doug DeGroot. So and then you close your browser out, and you think, well, that's the end of that. Well, TPUSA doesn't think that. So we wanted to see, what are they doing? One of the ways they track you is something called a Google Tag Manager. This is a unique ID code. It's a string of, I think, 9 letters and numbers. But it's assigned to an organization, and then they embed that Google Tag Manager into the website, and it tracks you. Tracks you. This is very normal. Lots of websites have this. Now, what we did was we wanted to see what all websites have this exact tag, because that would indicate they're all pulling the information into the same environment. When I go to the website and it gets my IP address, or it gets my email address, or whatever I happen to leave behind, or it knows where I'm going next and what web pages I'm going to, where I came from, where I'm going, what kind of things I search. We wanted to know who all was using this same tag. So we expected to see a lot of the TPUSA websites, and we did. I'll show you an example of what we found. These are active. There were a lot of inactive versions of this same tag, but we wanted to see the active ones. And so you'll see names on here that make a lot of sense. For example, TPUSA.com. I'll make this as big as I can. TPUSA.com right there. That's the main website. Has that same Google tracking number. Club America. That's their high school chapters. Okay, it makes sense. Campus Crashers. Yep, this is a TPUSA website that they go to. Amfest. Yep, that makes sense. It makes sense that TPUSA.com would have Amfest be tracking. I see Dre in there. She's got the bat signal thrown out. Did I hear data? Campus Victory, Believers Summit, TPUSA Frontline, support TPUSA.com. This Future of America polling is one of the most ridiculous websites of all time. I was very confused on what that was, but I did realize it was an actual TPUSA event. TPUSA website. It's like a AB. It's just a data tracking site. That's all it is. You go to it. Actually, I'll send it to you. It's it right here. You go to this website and you click. Oh, is America the greatest country in the world? And you, yes, no. See? Yes, no. Is America the greatest country in the world? Yes, no. First name, last name, email. They're just trying to get your data. That's all. But while you're here, they're not just grabbing your data. They're also embedding a little Google Tag Manager. They're embedding a little data into your life. So these are all just normal things. Future of America polling, TPUSA faith events, secure our campuses. What is this? azsenaterepublicans.gov? Oh, that's a government website. That's a .gov. Well, hold on to that for a second. We'll come back to that because that's a really weird website to have TPUSA trackers embedded into it. So let's keep going. We might have to look at that more in a minute. Young Women's Leadership Summit, Student Action Summit, mremeets.com. Well, that's weird. What is that? We'll look at that in a minute. Women's Leadership Summit. Look. Here's evidence that they actually did intend to have a Young Women's Leadership Summit this year for 2026 and then switch to the Women's Leadership Summit because young people hate them. That's the only thing I can think of. Why else would you have both websites up? You have the Young Women's Leadership Summit, but you also have the Women's Leadership Summit because young people hate you. Then you have the Strong Church Podcast. Believe it or not, that's a TPUSA ministry. Old Pueblo Club. What the hell is that? Well, we'll come back to that as well because it has TPUSA tracking software in it. Turning Point USA Breezy HR. That's the HR. I guess when you go to work there, you have to log on here and give them all your information. They're tracking you while you're doing it. American Halftime Show. We remember that. They didn't like Bad Bunny, so they went and got Kid Rock. TPUSA Rise, Charlie Kirk Foundations, Make Heaven Crowded Tour, Build the Red Wall. That was that event Erica Kirk did with Donald Trump. Institute for American Prosperity. We'll come back to that one. That's a different one. That's not TPUSA. That's weird. And then the TPUSA Faith Summit. So all these are active websites that have the same Google Tag Manager. They have the same tracking software embedded into the website. So I want to explain what that means before we go to some of the individual websites. For example, here's how you find these. Well, let me do this real quick because we saw the Arizona Senate Republicans. We're going to come back to that. And we saw the Institute for American Prosperity. We're going to come to that. There were two commercial websites on there that I can't figure out. One was called MRE Meets. MRE Meets. Now, this has the TPUSA Google Tag tracking software embedded into this website. So right now I'm being tracked by TPUSA and I'm on a commercial website called mremeets.com. I didn't know what this was, so I go to our story and I learn about the Aufschnitt company that makes this MRE meat. It's a beef jerky company. And if you're wondering, if you look up here at the top, I don't know if you can see this, they now free ship to Israel. So if you are in Israel watching this program and you want to buy meat from Baltimore, Maryland, or just outside of Baltimore, but you also want to be tracked by TPUSA, like you have this dual desire. I want dried meat, but I also want to be tracked by TPUSA. Where can I go? Oh, I know where I'll go. I'll go to Aufschnitt products. I will go to their MRE meat section. MRE ready to eat, snack like a warrior. Grass-fed grit. That's weird. So that's one website. Here's the other one, though. This is a really weird connection to TPUSA. You know, the TPUSA CEO, she doesn't even drink. She'll tell you that. She doesn't even drink. This is the Old Pueblo Club. While I'm here on this random bar off 6th Street, East 6th Street in Tucson, Arizona, I am being tracked by TPUSA at present, right now. I'll show you how we know that in just a minute. But I am currently being tracked by TPUSA tracking software. And I am at a bar, a speakeasy in Tucson, Arizona on their website. And this is a speakeasy that is owned, I believe, by an air conditioning guy or something in Tucson. It's got all these different websites here, or these different pages. They got an about page. It's got a private events page. I can go do these private events, sign up for that. It's got a membership. This is kind of the weirdest thing. You can belong to this bar for the low price of $2,500 a year. You can see this number down here on the lower left-hand side. For $2,513 a year, you can belong to a bar. And that will get you a 10% discount on drinks. I don't know how much you drink, but that's like $25,000 worth of booze a year to pay for this membership. Now, what's interesting about this bar in particular is it's a speakeasy. It's got a secret entrance. It's not easy to find. And they have members-only events, and they're only open to the public like 4 days a week. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're not open, and maybe even Sunday. It might just be Thursday through Saturday they open. It's either 3 days a week or 4 days a week they're closed. And I don't know if they're open to members during that time or can you reserve it or whatever. But it's a really weird thing down in Tucson. It's not even near TPUSA. Of course, the meat place is in Baltimore. That's not near TPUSA either. And so I don't know what to make of it. I'm not here to make a grand reveal of, here's what they're doing. They're trafficking people in the back. I don't know. Is this a Pizzagate thing? I have no idea. I don't think so. Being honest, I don't think so. But I'm not ruling it out. I'll tell you that. I don't rule anything out. Neither have an obvious connection to TPUSA, but it made us look a little closer at others. What other websites are on here, including one that just opened this year called the Institute for American Prosperity. And when you see their goal, when you see what they're trying to accomplish, to begin with, they're trying to hit you with a little nostalgia. This is boomer slop here. See these old cars driving down it looks like Franklin, Tennessee, Main Street, right? This is old boomer slop right here. They're trying to beckon back to a day when not everyone could vote. But you go back here and you want to learn more, for example. What do these people do? Well, here's what they do. They promote policies in Arizona that expand opportunity, protect freedom, and limit the size and scope of government. They advocate for pro-growth economic policies. They educate the public on free market solutions. They support reforms that This is what TPUSA did before they went full Zio. This was TPUSA's platform right here. You're looking at it. But now it's a company called Institute for American Prosperity, and there's no obvious connection to TPUSA. And when you look at the leadership, it's former Governor Doug Ducey, former Arizona Governor Doug Ducey. I don't know what this is. They just got founded a couple of months ago. I think the website just launched in like April or May. So but it's when you go to that website, you're being tracked by TPUSA tracking software. I have no idea why. I can find no connection, no obvious connection. Just a newly formed Arizona political organization. Free market economics. I mean, it's like Charlie Kirk back in 2012 before he gets infiltrated by Tyler Boyer and others. But then we get to the Arizona Senate Republicans. This website right here, the Arizona Senate Republicans, this is a .gov website, meaning the state of Arizona .gov. This is a .gov website. This is a public website of the Arizona Senate. When you click around on here, for example, you want to look at the senators. You will find on here, for example, Jake Hoffman. You guys might know Jake Hoffman of TPUSA fame. I believe he either does or did work at TPUSA or work maybe a contractor. He had some kind of TPUSA role. But believe it or not, Senator Hoffman here is being hosted on a website that is being tracked by TPUSA. We'll show you the extent of it in just a moment. It's wild that this is even, I don't know that this is legal, frankly. I mean, if I jump on a .gov website, I don't expect my information to be shared with TPUSA. I just don't. I would expect to jump on a website and maybe the state of Arizona tracks me. Maybe the Arizona Senate Republicans track me, but I wouldn't think it would be being shared back to a private nonprofit, whatever. But these are your Arizona Republican senators, a diverse bunch, a very diverse bunch here. I think there are a couple people with maybe a small percentage of Hispanic descent, perhaps, maybe. But that's Arizona government website. So we'll get into how we know all this in just a moment. But this is a very concerning development as we're looking through this. So Google, just a quick disclaimer, on these Google Tag Managers, Google will allow you to develop different workspaces within the same Google tag. So you could have the same Google ID and you could put it on an MRE beef jerky website. You could put it on a speakeasy in Tucson. You could put it on an Arizona government website. And you could have different, I guess, little buckets where the information flows, but ultimately it's the same destination. Like TPUSA has access to all that data. Your computer, for example, you jump on your computer and you have different folders where you can store documents. You might have a folder called Humble Host, and you take your best clips of the Real Baron podcast and you put it in your Humble Host folder. Well, then you have one called The Principal, and you take the best Candace Owens clips and you put it in The Principal. Then you have one called Trigger Smart's Greatest Hits, and every time you see something funny, you do a little clip and you store it in there. And this is just, you have different folders, but you have access to all of them. And that's what's happening. These are all flowing back to the TPUSA environment, even if there are different folders within that environment. Now, it's possible there's a low IQ, incompetent developer who's sloppy, who's unprofessional, who's only developed like 4 websites in his life, a bunch of TPUSA websites, and then a bar in Tucson, a meat company in Baltimore, and the Arizona government Senate Republicans. I mean, maybe and so he just like, I got one Google tag, I'm just going to throw it on all these websites and hope for the best. That would be bad. And the amount of complexity in the TPUSA website indicates that's probably not what's happening. So let's go to how we found these, because what you get is evidence that there is a private instance, a private server space for TPUSA. I'm going to show you a screen cap of what it looks like when you look sort of behind the scenes of these websites. You can do this with almost any website. You right click on the website, you scroll down, you click inspect, and you can begin to look a little closer at what's going on there. This is the code that pops up. These are all the little scripts that are running. And you'll see one right here called HTTPS TPUSA.aiproxies.com. Matomo.js, JS being JavaScript. So this is on the Arizona Senate GOP website, and they're running this JavaScript. So what is that particular JavaScript? What do we see there? This is what sets up the server on the website. So this is like installing a security camera in your house. I want to have a security camera on my front door so that if anybody opens my front door, I will record it. But this particular script right here is just the camera. It's not the recording. It's not what causes it to activate. It's not any of that. It's just, hey, we want to look at what's going on. So we're going to put the hardware in your house so that we have the capacity to see your front door. That's the security camera. That's that aiproxies.com/matomo.js. This is Matomo is similar to Google Analytics. It stores stuff on a self-hosted server. Instead of storing it in Google's environment, you kind of store it in your own environment. So that's the first one. If you want to look at the TPUSA website just to compare, just to be sure that it's the same thing. See that right there? tpusa.aiproxies.com/matomo.js. It's the same environment on the TPUSA website. So there's evidence that the Arizona Senate Republicans and TPUSA.com are sharing this security camera installation, the same security camera on both websites. Now, what else do we have? Well, the next thing we have is yet another script. This is, you scroll down a little farther and you have this plugin called a heat map session recording. This is tpusa.aiproxies.com. So this is the camera, but this is the camera recording you. So I want to see who walks into my house. I've got the hardware. I've got the camera. We saw that in the first screen. Now I have the ability to record. And what this heat map session recording does is it's recording what's going on your screen while you're on their website. You didn't know TPUSA did that when you went to their website. They do. They do. They can pull up and they can see what you did on their website. They can see what people did as a whole on the website, or they could isolate it by individuals, but they get a little heat map. They get a little trace of everywhere your mouse went on their screen. That is TPUSA's heat map recording. That's the Arizona State Republicans, but it's being fed back to the TPUSA environment. You want to see the same installation on the TPUSA website? It's right here. You'll notice it's the exact same. So you'll see here, this is the TPUSA website. There's Charlie Kirk, turningpointusa.com. Of course, they have a donate button. tpusa.com.aiproxies.com/plugins/heatmap session recording. So this is proof that they do the exact same thing on their own website. They do it on the Arizona Senate Republicans website, and it goes back to the TPUSA environment. They do it on the TPUSA website, and it comes back to the same environment. So we have a little bit of intrusion. Like when I go to a government website, I don't expect a local nonprofit or any nonprofit to track me. But they do. I'll give you an example of what a heat map recording looks like. Here is a random one that Daisy found online. This just shows you the click positions over here. These are the different places people click. And these are the places the mouse moves. So you can see it's recording you, and it's developing a little bit of a heat map. These areas in red here are where a lot of people click. You'll notice when you do these search engines, everybody clicks the top example. So you'll see a lot of there. And then as you go further down the page, you don't get as much mouse movement or clicking movement, which is why people get paid a lot of money to try to get your website in that top position. It's very, very valuable if you can optimize and game the algorithm to get up the top. So you'll see that the higher up you are. But this is being done on all these websites. Not only the TPUSA websites, but the Arizona Senate Republican website, and the bar in Tucson, and the meat company, the beef jerky company over in Baltimore, all being fed back to TPUSA. The codes work together. They record your visit and they send it to this website. Here is what it looks like on the TPUSA end when they go to sign in. You can go to the page. I don't have a signature. I don't have a username or password, so I can't get in. But this is the website that if you type in that information, this is where it takes you. It takes you here, and you put your credentials in, and it sends you there, and you can now analyze all the data, not only from TPUSA's website again, but the Arizona Senate Republicans, a government website, as well as a meat company and a bar. Okay. So let's keep going. Now, do we have proof they're actively doing it? Funny you should ask, Jimmy, Alan, however the song goes. Funny you should ask, Alan. Here is the evidence that they're actively doing this. If you go to the Arizona Senate Republicans.gov website, this is a government website, you can see the different types of tracking software they put in your computer. These are all the different things they drop off in your computer. Some of them expire when you leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them expire when you leave. Some of them don't expire for another year. So you will have this, you go to the Arizona Senate Republicans website, you're going to have this tracking you around on the internet for the next year, being fed back to TPUSA. Some of them expire, within a month or two. That's these bottom ones down here. And they're all doing something. We don't know what they're doing. We can't see what they're doing here, but we see that they're active. We see the size of them. We see whether they're secure. You'll notice some are not. But you see that they're actively doing this. This is not something that's installed but not happening. This is actively occurring. And we can't figure out why. We don't know the connection of why an Arizona government website has this tracking capability, feeding information back to TPUSA. It's just something that cannot, my non-criminal brain can't contemplate what they're doing. I'm not saying it's criminal, but it's weird, right? Might be criminal. I don't know what the rules are in Arizona. I tried to look up the law, but I'm not an Arizona lawyer. Now, the third code, there's a third code. It's not tracking. We've seen the tracking software. We saw the camera. That was the first script we saw. We saw the recording. That was the second script we saw. The third code is really, really concerning because this isn't just a camera installed in the website to watch you. This isn't just it recording and watching you. This one is actively communicating in real time with TPUSA servers. It's sending information back in real time. Activity you perform on the Arizona Senate Republican website will in real time be transmitted to TPUSA servers. You can watch it happen in real time. It's like a phone call. The website is sitting there, it's waiting. And then when you go to the website, it calls TPUSA's website. And I'll show you what that looks like from the Arizona Senate Republican website. Again, techies will understand this. Everyone else just understand it's like a telephone call. This is the add event listener. They've added something to this website called an event listener. And they'll show you that it comes from tpevents.tpusa.com. We'll visit that website in a second, show you what it looks like. But that's where the event listener is reporting. TP events, turningpointevents.com, turningpointevents.tpusa.com. That is what's happening. It's pushing that data over to TPUSA when you do certain things on the Arizona Senate Republicans website. That's a very concerning development, in my opinion. I don't want TPUSA to get a copy of everything I do on these other websites. Maybe I just want to buy meat. Maybe I just want to buy jerky. I don't want TPUSA to know I bought jerky. Maybe I just want to Buy a membership to a local speakeasy. I don't want TPUSA to know I bought a membership to a local speakeasy. Maybe I just want to sign up for an event at the local ArizonaRepublican.gov website, and I don't want TPUSA to know I've signed up for an event at the local ArizonaRepublican.gov website, or whatever the name of the website is. It's a little bit of a concern. Here is the page that it's reporting to. This is the TPUSA, tpevents.tpusa.com. So if you want to go to a TPUSA event, it's going to direct you to one of these subpages of this page, tpevents.tpusa.com. So you get an invitation and they say, hey, join us at the Founders Ball. It's going to be on July 4th. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to start at 9 p.m. It's going to go till 2 a.m. That's kind of wild. The Founders Ball, that sounds fun. Maybe we should sign up for that. Oh, this is great. Oh, okay. We got sponsors. Sponsors not available. We got speakers. Speakers not available. We got exhibitors. Exhibitors not available. But I can still register, right? I can still sign up. So I click the register button. Oh, I want to go to the Founders Ball. Oh, $2,500. What? Well, I'm not going to sign up for that. But let's say I did. Let's say I wanted to go to the Founders Ball, the TPUSA Founders Ball. Heavy hors d'oeuvres, open premium bar, live entertainment and dancing. Sounds like a lot of fun. If I got $2,500 burning a hole in my pocket and I just got to be there in Washington, D.C., a couple of weeks from now on July 4th, then I will go. This sounds like a ball sort of associated with the national 250th anniversary party that the country's having. I haven't seen this really advertised anywhere, but apparently it's going to exist. $2,500 a ticket. That's salty. Let's say I want to get 2 tickets. That's going to be $5,149.64 for Mrs. Coleman and me to go. That's going to be that's a nice night out. Neither one of us drinks, so that's going to be we're not really getting. I guess we'll have to load up on heavy hors d'oeuvres to get our money's worth, because I don't dance either. Not a Christian thing. It's just I'm bad at it, so I don't do it. Yeah, I'm not very good at it. The drinking's not a Christian thing either. I'm not good at that either. I'm bad at that too, guys. So I don't know what I would do. Just watch a band, I guess, and eat a bunch of heavy hors d'oeuvres. I don't know, like cocktail weenies or what. But for $5,000, for $5,150, I can go. That's the TPUSA Founders Ball coming up. They have some other events coming up as well. See if I can get back to the beginning here. There we go. Courage and Convictions, Cultivating Clarity and Chaos, the Educators Summit in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Maybe that's why the TPUSA Jets, Daisy, maybe that's why they keep going to Chicago this week. They're going to the Educators Summit in Chicago, Illinois. Then we have the Pastors Summit, believe it or not. That I tried to find something I could sign up for free. All this stuff costs money. The Pastors Summit, they're bilking you there. The Turning Point Education Prep Year. You'll never believe what this costs. $2,000. $2,000 to go to the Turning Point Education Prep Year. That's bizarre. That's bizarre. But anyway, I point this out to say, if I was to sign up for any of these, it would send my information not just to TPUSA, but to their servers to be stored as data they could come look at, evaluate, analyze. Likewise, if you sign up through one of these other websites, the Speakeasy, the Meat Company, the Arizona Senate Gov, or what, it's going to send the same stuff there. It's going to send your information to them. Which is a little weird. So the code captures what happens, when it happened, how it happened, and it feeds it directly to the website that has this code installed. But we don't know precisely what happens to that information when it gets there. I will note, Arizona Senate Republicans.gov, you don't have a privacy policy we can find. That's not proper. It's probably illegal, especially being on a .gov website. There's no privacy policy. I'll also note, when you look at the privacy policy on the Speakeasy and on the MRE website, it does not tell you that your information is going back to TPUSA. So I don't know if they're using the information improperly or there's some kind of privacy law or data law being violated? I don't know the answer to that. I want to get into something weird, though. I want to get into something very weird that we found. There are a series of websites that redirect to TPUSA. For example, if you go to buy merch from your humble host, you want to buy an RBP hoodie, right? You want to buy get a Daisy sweatshirt. You want to buy a Holy Mackerel sweatshirt. We got some great merch, by the way, realbaronpodcast.com. When you go to realbaronpodcast.com, one of the functions on that website is going to redirect you to the merch store. The merch store is not hosted on our website. The merch store is hosted on Shopify. It's a great program, by the way. If you sell merch or you sell anything, Shopify is great. That's not a paid promotion. I know they're doing paid promotions with podcasters. I'm not one of them. I just really like it. It makes doing merch easy. If it's hard, people aren't going to do it. So there are a lot of websites that redirect to TPUSA. For example, if I type in certain websites, this is where I'm going to land. I'm going to land here. This is the TPUSA landing page, the home page. So I will show you a couple of those now. Let's go to, well, I don't want to do that. If you have a browser handy, go to kirkgotowned.com. kirkgotowned.com. That redirects to the TPUSA page. kirkgotowned.com. I'll show you a full list of these in a second. Likewise, charliegotowned.com. charliegotowned.com redirects to the TPUSA page. Charlie got owned or Kirk got owned. Now, here's a weird one. Someone go to tylerrobinson.com. Go to tylerrobinson.com. See where that takes you. tylerrobinson.com. I'll show you. I'll show you here because I'll pull up the whole page and let you see that I'm punching in the name here. Well, I can't because it doesn't show the URL when I do that. But if you go to tylerrobinson.com and you hit enter, it takes you to the TPUSA website. There's actually a full list of these that go to TPUSA.com. But I have to pick the two images that match, and I'm not very good at this. Select the images that match what? Bird? Rabbit? Rabbit? Rabbit. There we go. Okay, here we go. So I have a full list of websites that redirect to TPUSA.com. This is fun. This is fun. See, there's the TPUSA.com at the top. These are inbound redirects. So it makes sense today that TPUSA.today goes to turningpointusa.com. Like that goes there. These make sense. TPUSA.pro, TPUSA.app, .mobi, all the makes sense that all these would redirect to TPUSA.com. Accelerated.com. I don't know what that is, but it directs it. Turning Point Community College.net. Apparently that goes there. TP Elementary goes there. TP Alumni, TP High School, Oregon Trail Democrats. Okay. Woke Bowl 28. Does anybody see a Woke Bowl coming in 2028? I bet it's coming. They've already got the website. It redirects. So let's just keep rolling because there's some fun ones in here. What is alean.org? I don't know what that is, but it redirects. Woke Bowl 2026. It redirects. Turning Point Bowl. Turning Point Junior High. I'm not sure I want Turning Point in my junior high. I don't even know if I want them around my kids, knowing what I know about some of those people. But all these things, Young Women's Leadership Summit, On Point Mag, okay? All these things redirect to Turning Point, Turning Point Athletics, turningpointathletes.com, Woke Bowl 27, TP Endowment, Okay, so we're scrolling. There's some fun ones in here, but there's a lot. Let me back out a little bit so I can scroll a little faster. How about Fishnet Cafe? Fishnet Cafe. Fishnet Cafe was an organization that got involved in a lawsuit over, I believe it was some sort of gay or trans issue or something, but apparently TPUSA went out and bought. What about Cucks Only? Believe it or not, that redirects to TPUSA. Cucksonly.com. Gen Free, there's TylerRobinson.com. I don't know what 9/10/2025 means. Oh, that's the date Charlie died. Blankantifa.com goes to Turning Point website there. Whatever that is. Skix17.com goes to Turning Point. There's the Woke Bowl again. Debunkered, whatever that spells, goes there. Unityvibration.com. Not sure what that is. Divest You. Don't know what that is, but it goes there. Debunker des Itoiles. What is that supposed to mean? I don't know what that means. But that redirects to Turning Point. Scrolling. There's some fun ones in here. Oh, now we're getting out of the TPs. MAGA.is. You know what IS is, right? You know what the .is is? Yes. It's the domain for Iceland, but people mistakenly think it's the domain for our greatest ally. Let's see here. Micro PP Club. Micro PP Club. Is this Mark Levin's website? Micro Mark. Anyway, that redirects to TPUSA. Ninth Circle of Hell.com redirects to TPUSA. I don't know if they have plans for these down the road or what. Mark for turningpoint.com. I don't know what that is. Who's Mark? Who's Mark? He's got a lot going on right here. Hypeline, StacyUSA.com. Yeah, all these go here. Wasn't there a feet one somewhere, Daisy?
That was for the Daily Wire. Do you want me to pull that one up?
Oh, yeah. So no, I don't want to pull that up.
Okay.
Okay, so we also ran this for the Daily Wire. And theirs was a little wilder. They didn't just have micropp.com. I will say this. Let me make sure it's right before I say it out loud. Oh, I'd have to go back and find it. There was a wild one that we saw that redirected to dailywire.com. So here are the questions. Like what are the open questions? What are the open questions here? What the hell is TPUSA? What is TPUSA? Are they just a charitable organization that's outreaching college students? Or are they some sort of tracking organization or some sort of large? I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. What is TPUSA? Who built their website? Who built all these websites? Did the same person build the TPUSA website that built the Arizona Senate Republicans website in Arizona? And if so, did they intentionally put the tracking software in there? Why on earth would a government website have a tracking communication channel configured specifically to go back to TPUSA and to TPUSA's event registration platform? Why? What's going on there? And what happens to the data collected? Let's say you're just an Arizona constituent. You just want to find your Arizona Senate Republican that's in your district. I'm in District 7. You get on the web. Do I know I'm being tracked by TPUSA? Do I know that's happening? What happens to the data that's being tracked? And why doesn't the Arizona SenateRepublicans.gov have a very obvious privacy policy like every other website should have. How did a brand new bar in Tucson that just opened this year, or maybe late last year, and a kosher meat company that ships free to Israel, how did they end up with TPUSA tracking software on their websites? How did they end up with session recording software on their websites? And what about this new organization we saw, this Institute for American Prosperity? We know for a fact that it shares the tracking software. We didn't show you that, but it's the same. It's the same. Do they share more than that? Do they have some kind of other relationship with each other? I mean, their mission statement seems ripped right from TPUSA's founding documents. Is it appropriate? Is it appropriate for a nonprofit, basically a taxpayer-funded entity, or at least partially taxpayer-funded entity? That's what nonprofits are. They're not paying taxes, so we're helping them out. We're subsidizing them. Is it appropriate for them to collect private data that spans across different industries, across meat, bars, other nonprofits, government websites? Is it appropriate for them to collect this data from all these different websites? And do the donors to TPUSA know they're doing this? Like the big donors? Do they realize what all this costs, for example? This is not free technology. Somebody has to pay for this. All this has to be put in. We have a list of all the websites that have this tracking software. Most of it is TPUSA related, but not all of it. Not all of it. There's one more thing, Daisy. Do we have hold on? One more thing I wanted to see. The J and F. Let's see if I can find it. I can't find it. One of their websites, one of the TPUSA websites, and I'd have to go back and find it. When you go to the website, and you look at the source, or you inspect the website, I guess. One of the websites sends you. Do you have that?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll share the screen. Hold on.
Yeah, do that. Because that was one of the more concerning things that I saw. TPUSA, when you bounce out of their environment, they like to know where you go. They follow you. One of the places where they're concerned about you going really weirded me out a little bit when I found it. When it was brought to my attention, I kind of weirded me out a little bit. I looked and I thought, why? What is the connection here? It is I'll tell you the name of the organization before we pull it up. It's the Jewish National Fund. It's a registered 501c3. It raises funds for the purported cause of supporting environmental, agriculture, and community development projects in Israel. But when you look at it, where they're doing the development, a lot of it is in places not supposed to be controlled necessarily by Israel. A lot of West Bank activity. And so you just have to stop and wonder, okay, there's the main page there.
Can you does it not show you the
No, you don't have the source pulled up, or you don't
the
have
window? Okay, it's not showing it. Let me screenshot it real quick and I'll drop it in the
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But if you look at all the different websites, when you pull this up, and we'll show it to you in a second, when you pull this up and you look at all the different websites that they're tracking you to, a lot of them make sense because I'm going to other TPUSA websites, or I'm going to partner organizations, I'm going to TP Action, I'm going to places like that. But one of them they're tracking you to is the JNF.org, this Jewish National Fund. And it just raises the question again, what is TPUSA? Like, what is that organization? What are they doing? It's not Charlie's full vision from 2012. It's a different organization. I don't think when Charlie started this, he said, let's put some tracking software in the Arizona Senate Republicans. That's why I want to found TPUSA. I need to get some intel out of them. I don't think that was his vision. I don't think his vision when he started this back in 2012 was let's get some tracking software so that if anybody leaves our website and goes to the Jewish National Fund, we'll know. We'll be first to know. We'll be alerted. Why? I don't think that was part of the plan. I don't think that was part of the plan at all. Oh, there's your screenshot. All right, you
okay. Make that yeah, I'm gonna have to zoom in a second. I highlighted it here.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw up the rest of the code, but just so y'all know where this comes from, if you look at the left-hand side, if you can see my cursor, hopefully you can. This is inside of the Google Tag Manager, and this jnf.org and then all the other websites that are on there. It's part of a longer string, which I'll throw up with basically domains that TPUSA wants to track if you're visiting those, leaving their website or coming in from their website.
I think I've got it right here. It's under sources.
It just didn't let me, for some reason, it didn't show the inspect window. So hopefully. Yeah. All right, here I found it. I'll just share my screen. Okay, let me show you this real quick, and then we'll be done with this part. Where is it? Yeah, okay, that's why. That's what you're saying. It's not showing the inspect portion of it when we pull it up. Just trust me, it's in there. Actually, I might be able to do it this way. Yeah, here we go. I'll just show you the whole screen here. So this is the sources here. And if you go here, this is where the Google Tag Managers go. This VTP linker domains, amfest.com, that makes sense. Believers Summit, that makes sense. Blexit, these are all TPUSA websites. Campus Crashers, Campus Victory, deanslist.org, Defund the War. Believe it or not, Defund the War was against the Ukrainian war. They had a Defund the War website. Future of America polling, we look at that. Jesters and Fools, I don't know what that is. Professor Watchlist, this was a website that Charlie opened that got him in a lot of trouble. But as you scroll across here, one of the options, the Young Women's Leadership Summit, Blexit, all this, but one of the options here is this jnf.org, jewishnationalfund.org. It's right there. I know it's small. I can't make it any bigger because of the way it's shared. But that is one of the places they're tracking you, which is a weird development. It's hard for me to answer the question. You know, if somebody comes to me today, if somebody came to me 9 months and 9 days ago, the day before Charlie passed, and they said, what is TPUSA.com? I'd say, it's a conservative student youth organization. They go on college campuses and they try to, talk to kids, and they do like question and answer sessions. It's, what it is. Guy named Charlie Kirk runs it, and he kind of like just talks to people about his worldview. Oh, okay. I don't believe any of that anymore. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're up to, but it's not what we all thought they were up to. It's just not. This is a totally different organization. This is, I just think the more we learn about TPUSA, the weirder and stranger the story gets. The weirder and stranger the story gets. Let's check. Holy Toledo, guys. Holy Toledo. You guys have raised over $40,000 tonight. You guys have raised over $40,000. This was either just at $50,000 pretty much all day today. I kept looking at it. It was like 50 to 51,000 pretty much all day. It was like a 51,000 or 52,000 right when we went live. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is that was a really, really good man. Was a really, really decent human being. Gosh. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot wait to let his bride know how powerful you guys are as a community. Thank you. We've been very worried about what the next months hold. And you've helped alleviate that burden a lot. A lot. I read an update she gave today about they were going to take their time getting back here and not rush as a family. And they're traveling cross country as an I don't want to say incomplete family. I don't know if that's appropriate to say, but not as the family they were when they went out there for treatment. And thank you. Thank you. This is amazing. This will allow her to focus on grieving and recovering and spending time with her children, young children. The oldest boy is 13, and then I think the younger ones are like 4, 6, and 1 or something. I mean, young. But that was so humbling. Thank you, guys. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for coming through for them as a family. I'm telling you, we got the best community. I mean, the best community. If you're wondering what that little QR code is, that's what it is. It was the GoFundMe I just showed you. If you're watching afterwards and you can't get the QR code to work, it'll be down in the description, whether you're watching on Spotify or YouTube or Rumble or any of the other platforms. If you're in the live chat now, it should be pinned as a live comment in the live chat. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. She sent me a message today and said, "Hey, I heard you were asking if it was okay to put the GoFundMe up. You know, we purposefully did not show any of the kids' faces, didn't mention their names. So, please, by all means." And I told her, I was like, I bet we can raise several $1,000s. I had no idea it was going to be 40. I was like, I bet we could raise several $1,000s really quickly. We'll put it up and we've got a great community and they're loving and they're kind and they're caring. Holy Toledo, guys. Unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you're watching this after the replay, thank you as well. Even if you can only give $1, even if you can only give $1, or just pray for them. Thank you. Thank you. I will roll through some of your comments now that I'm completely humbled to the floor here. Thank you. All right. Hello from the New South Wales Central Coast. I was supposed to be sleeping after working night shift last night, but I wanted to feel part of this high IQ jury. Heidi, you can feel part of the high IQ jury anytime you want. You just close your eyes and imagine you're here with us. And then fall asleep to these sultry tones, the velvety and sultry tones of humble host. Favorite thing to do on X right now is to inform folks about you. That's awfully nice. It's awfully nice. Folks need to know, in my opinion. It's wild how comfy people are defending narratives and admitting ignorance in the same comment. This outfit could never. No, we would never do such a thing. Chat, please say a prayer for my best friend, Tim. New member of the jury I know is watching. Nothing's wrong with him. He's just unfortunate looking. Prayers headed your way, Timmy. Don't need to be unfortunate looking. Not when Mr. Com's around. He'll let you have it. Hello from Florida. Everyone make sure you hit the like button. Oh, by all means. I haven't even looked at the likes tonight. Where are we likewise? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Like, that's not very good. You guys could do better. Not the best likes we've ever had, but we'll do better. Click the like button real quick. Go ahead and jump in there. GoFundMe link on the chat. Spread the love you can. Yes, please. By all means. Thank you. And they did. Husband keeps asking for a Mississippi pot roast, but I can't locate your recipe. Would you be so kind? Please and thank you. Just Google it. They're all the same. Pepperoncinis, butter, I guess a flavor packet or two thrown in there. It's amazing. You can't go wrong. Put that baby in the crock pot, come back in 8 hours and enjoy. It's phenomenal. Or you can do an Instapot version. Regarding court docs from last night, first line is on September 11th, after TR turned himself in, is this definitive proof TR was in custody on the 11th. Well, it was never contested he was in custody on the 11th. He definitely turned himself in on the 11th. The question is, was he Mirandized when he turned himself in? In other words, you can turn yourself in and be in custody. They don't have to read you your Miranda rights when you turn yourself in. But if they ask you any questions and they intend to use those questions against you in court, they would need to have Mirandized you. So a lot of times when you're taken into custody, whether or not they question you, they go ahead and get that out of the way. And the reason they do that is it really prevents a lot of confusion if you confess. You know, if you come and, you know, I'm a kingpin meth dealer, right? I'm the big kahuna. I'm making the blue meth like they did on Breaking Bad. And you come to arrest me, but you don't Mirandize me. You say, well, we're going to turn him over to authorities in another jurisdiction later. We'll just take him into custody. That's fine. But if while we're being transported and you ask me a question like, how's your night going? And you're like, I did it. I'm guilty. Now you got to argue with a judge. Was that custodial interrogation? Could I have interpreted how's your night going as a question? You are questioning me. It's too close for comfort. So a lot of times they just get it out of the way. As soon as they're putting the cuffs on you, you're under arrest. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. Every critical stage. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you at no cost to you. I mean, they usually get that out of the way. And it's hard for me to believe that they did not get that out of the way with Tyler Robinson when he turned himself in. Hard for me to believe that he wasn't turned in at 6:25 p.m. I just think he was. That's why I think the footage of him turning himself in is missing, because it'll be daylight. It'll be daylight, and it'd be obvious to anyone who looks that he was in the parking lot before 10 o'clock at night or whatever time he's supposed to turn himself in. It's been forever since I caught a live. Van Allen radiation belt, where have you been? So many questions. Why would EK tell us EK didn't sleep in her bed? I don't know. It's a good question. Or that he wasn't wearing his wedding ring. Even better question. There's no way we would have known. Yeah, I mean, you could take the innocent approach and just say she said it because it was true and she didn't think anybody was be suspecting her because she didn't do anything wrong. That's the innocent explanation. I don't know if that's the true explanation, but that would be an innocent explanation. I like to do that with all facts. I like to say, is there an innocent explanation? Does that innocent explanation make sense? But thank you. Welcome back, Van Allen Radiation Belt. Hadn't seen your name in a while. But Baron, just FYI, for those always asking for Charlie's parents to weigh in, unfortunately, EK holds all the cards. And they don't dare say a word if they want to have a relationship with him. Sad but true. Christ is king. Indeed. I've made that point. Again, I don't know if that's true. But I've made that point time and time again, that grandparents are at a severe disadvantage, particularly in another state. They're at a severe disadvantage when it comes to criticizing or commenting on their child-in-law, the parent of their grandchildren, when their son or daughter is no longer around, because that now you've lost an advocate in the home. Podcaster Ali Top Files has phone call with Mike Fry. CK called him scared, trying to replace his security detail December of 2024. I've heard that phone call, and if he's accurately recounting things, then I think that's an interesting development. I have a lot of questions about the veracity of the content of that call. I'm not calling Mike Fry a liar, certainly not calling Ali a liar. I just don't know why Charlie would have made that call in December of 2024 and then done nothing for the next 9 months, because he did not replace his security detail. That doesn't indicate he was very scared. You should have done Give, Send, Go, because you get 100% from them, because GoFundMe takes a percentage. I think it's just the credit card processing percent, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't do it. This was set up by someone else. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just providing the link. Listening in Delray Beach, a few blocks from Atlantic Avenue. Thank you. I always look forward to your show. You want me to tell you about a small world? You know who used to live in Delray Beach, a few blocks from Atlantic Avenue? You're a humble host. Yes, I did. I'm not going to give you the exact address. Probably not hard to find, but I lived right there. Delray Beach, a few blocks from Atlantic, maybe like 4, maybe less than that. My husband's uncle passed last night. Please send prayers to his family. They are heartbroken. I can imagine they are. I'm sorry to hear that, Van Allen Radiation Belt. Man, I've missed seeing your name. Glad to have you back. I'm sorry to hear about your husband's uncle. Is there a FF by some foreign desert country? If there's a false flag by some foreign desert country, I'm worried about 250th birthday for high emotional impact. I worry about it, period. Done. I can't wait to see how generous this amazing community is. Rest in peace, Jeff. Love and prayers for his family. Indeed. If you'd ever met, oh my gosh, if you'd ever met that couple, man, there's just no one who's ever said a negative word about either of them. Christ is within our midst. Christ is King, and may Jeff's memory be eternal. That's beautiful. Thank you. Donated $20 to your friend. I'm sorry for the loss. Too young. Praying for healing hearts and protection over wife and kids. God bless you for helping. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's very kind. Very kind. You're a good friend to help Jeff's family. God bless you and them. Love this community. Thank you. Mrs. Coleman and I dropped a little something in the GoFundMe as well. And we've been doing what we can to help them along the way. It's been a long, arduous, and unfortunately, because we live in the United States, an expensive journey. Cancer is not a cheap thing to face for most people. There's the stuff that's covered, and then there's all the stuff that's not covered. There's that as well. Yeah, repping with my CIK Indeed shirt tonight. Go Max. That's a good shirt. I really like that one. Gave you the Armstrongs and sending so much love. Thank you. Appreciate that. Alpaca Renee. Very kind, very kind. Thank you for getting into true crime with the opening. We missed you at CrimeCon. Charlie's case should have been there, and more people should feel safe to talk about him and the ridiculousness of the case. My sister has been to CrimeCon. I have a shirt from there. It says DNA or it didn't happen. It's real. It's true. It's true. I think, I don't know that I ever paid her for it. Nurse Casey, I owe you like $20 or whatever that cost. I think I intended to pay her for that. It was a few years ago. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I ever reimbursed her. Maybe I did. I did, sure. I surely did. But I know she's been. Thanks for all you do, B. Donated to your sweet friend's family. I pray God provides his family and friends peace and support in this difficult time. He was lucky to have you as a friend. Christ is King indeed. Go Max. Thank you. Very kind. Happy to contribute, Baron. My family and I are blessed so that we can bless others. Praying for you and your family as well. Mr. B. Christ is King indeed. Apollo 1169. Are you a mooner? Or are you one of the ones that were there? Yes. Wow. You guys are amazing.
I saw the 6 figures and I was like, I got to put it up there.
That's more than $50,000 just tonight. You guys are unbelievable. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. I had a thought. If you cut, dye, and spike your hair, shave the beard, you could be a Sting doppelganger. Can you sing like Sting? Belt out some old Police. I cannot. The Stinger. No, but I did have to give a presentation one time to, I probably shouldn't name the company. It's a trucking company, pretty well known. And we were kind of just briefing them on the state of commercial collections, like what they are and are not allowed to do. And I had a series of slides. And one thing you're not allowed to do is act like you're the police when you call. Like, you're not allowed to say, "Hey, we're gonna come arrest you if you don't pay your bill." You can't do that. And so I said, "You can't be the police." And I put up a picture of Sting. Audience was too young to get it. It's okay. Okay. They were like, "What? What does that mean? Who's that old man?" So incredibly blessed to listen to you, Baron. Your strength in pushing through these dark times is truly inspiring. Sending my donation to your friend's family. Prayers to your friends, family, and yours. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. My B, you're a baller. You're a G. Make him say, nah, 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 nah. Hey, I wondered what people thought when I recognized that. I was a little worried. I was a little worried. Because that's not like mainstream hip hop. Or I guess it was back in the mid 90s. Bear Knights are showing up on this GoFundMe for your friend Jeff. I sure do love this community. I do too. I cannot wait to send her a text and say, "Hey, go check the GoFundMe." Yeah, you guys are amazing. Number one from Cartersville, Georgia. My Aussie Doodle. What's Aussie Doodle? What is an Aussie Doodle? Aussie Doodle. It's a dog, I'm assuming. My Aussie Doodle, Magnolia, a.k.a. Maggot. You call your dog Maggot? Likes to bark at the mailman through our window every day. And every day I yell, "Get out of them drapes, girl." Oh, that's an Aussie Doodle. That's a cute dog. Nothing wrong with that dog. I've never heard of such. Aussie Doodle. I've heard of a Labradoodle. But now I know what an Aussie Doodle is. That's a cute dog. I think there's one that walks around here. I always thought it was a Labradoodle. Walks up and down the street in our neighborhood. Get out of them drapes, girl. Yeah. Your dog just inspired by Dr. Kirk. That's all. Your dog's just inspired. You can't go wrong being inspired by Dr. Kirk. I mean, you can, but don't do everything Dr. Kirk does. The next thing you know, your dog will be texting 15-year-olds. If she's local for you, do you think she's a fan of RBP? Who are you talking about? I don't know what that means. Is that like a follow-on comment to something? I don't know what that means. Yes, everyone's a fan. The way you say "this is" your opening statement is reminiscent of Paul Harvey's legendary "this is the rest of the story." Very high IQ, sir. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Paul was the GOAT. Paul was the GOAT. I joined Twitter just to get the Casey Anthony verdict. Haven't used it since. That's Nurse Casey, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, she's on Twitter. She tweets. George Farmer in the chat. What? No, really? Did anyone ask if I can interview him yet? That way I don't have to. George, may I? May I interview you, George? We have a name in common. Watch Casey Anthony, Where the Truth Lies. Lots of info that was never presented to the public or in court. Casey Anthony's father is definitely the murderer. Love you, B. Thank you for all you do. Christ is king indeed. Wow, is that true? I might have to watch that. Where the Truth Lies. I know she was as good as convicted in my mind before the trial started. And then afterwards I thought, maybe she didn't do it. I don't know. I mean, I would think if a jury sat there and listened to all of it and was like, we don't think she did it. Then she probably didn't do it. I don't know. Baron. I'm currently in Knoxville for my daughter's AAU Nationals. It can't help but feel a little bit higher IQ being in such proximity to our humble host. Keep doing God's work and go get yourself a Cruise Farm ice cream because it's the best I ever had. I'm a long way from Knoxville. I mean, like 4 hours, but it's close enough. It's close enough. Tennessee's a long state. Like Johnson City to Memphis, I mean, might as well be in other countries. If you were in Europe, you'd cover like 7 countries to go from Johnson City to Memphis. How far is that? Johnson City, Tennessee to Memphis, Tennessee. That's 500 miles. 7 hours and 19 minutes by car. And that's not even all of it. There's still a little Tennessee on the other side of Johnson City. A long way. Anyway, welcome home. Welcome to Rocky Top. Welcome to Rocky Top. And thank you. That's a very generous donation. Thank you. Is bearing on today. Has become my daily utterance between hubby and me. You are much loved, Mr. C. Sending our condolences. Renee, thank you. Very kind of you. I have a pretty set schedule. It varies a little bit. When something comes up, like when I had to travel to Arizona last week on a very short notice. But generally speaking, I'll be on live Sunday night, Monday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Tuesday night, not usually. Friday night, not usually. Weekend or Saturday off. And either Tuesday or Friday, I'll do a member show. Like I will do a member show tomorrow. The member show is typically in the afternoon, like early afternoon, noon, 1 o'clock. It's a pretty easy schedule to remember. If you've got a notepad and a slide rule, it's very easy. You need a protractor. I'm traveling in Japan, so I can watch the show live. It's 9 a.m. here. In Estonia, it would be 3 a.m. Your biggest Estonian fan, Merrily. You named after the song? Merrily? Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. I'm going to choose to believe you're named after Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Baron, your emblem has a square and a circle with a sine wave in it. Very Masonic, sacred geometry. It's not a sine wave. It's a sound wave. Sound wave. The logo, I wanted to, they say you can't put a peg in a round peg in a square hole or something, whatever it is. I tried to replicate that. Like the peg's going in the square. You just got to have a smaller peg. It'll go in there. You just can't be bigger than the that. Look, I overthought it. And then that's just a sound wave. I mean, that's just like if you get on Audacity or something, that's kind of what sound looks like. Dr. Muckus has a cancer center in Florida, helped 9,000 plus. Duly noted. Thank you. Rob Lowe did the Casey Anthony movie. He had a lot of access to all the players. He told me he gathered that the prosecutors threw the case on purpose. Rob Lowe told you? What's your connection to Rob Lowe? That's the more interesting part of that comment. I freaking love you like a real brother. Rooting for Jesus. What a great name. I freaking love you like a sister. World needs more truth and less tiptoeing. Thank you for boldly glorifying God and making people think. Praying for wisdom and protection over your voice and ministry. Joshua 1:9. I will say this. My voice is a little stronger on Wednesday and Sunday because I've had the day off before. There's a lot of talking on this program. You go try to talk loudly for 4 hours. And see how you feel the next day. It took several months for my voice to kind of get strong. It sounds like a muscle. You got to work it. But thank you. Very kind of you. Orem has got to be more corrupt than we're led to believe. I realized today this is the same city that had the school Paris Hilton was abused in as a teen. I'm keeping you in my prayers, B. Christ is king indeed. Paris Hilton lived in Orem, Utah? I thought she was from LA or something. Paris Hilton, Orem, Utah. Provo Canyon School. Stems from her time at Provo Canyon School, a residential troubled teen boarding facility in nearby Springville, Utah. She spent almost a year there as a teenager, dedicated years to a national advocacy campaign to expose abuse and regulate these facilities. Hey, is that the place where Jeb Jacoby went? Did Jeb Jacoby go to that place? What was it called? Provo Canyon? I know he went to some school for troubled teens, right? I have to look that up. He went somewhere out there, some sort of boarding school or something. May not have been troubled teens. May have been like, I can't think of the word. Divergent? What's the word I'm looking for? Something. Is that it? I can't see that. It's too small.
Yeah, it's called the Waterfall Canyon.
Oh, okay. So that's a different school. Or maybe they changed their name after Paris Hilton. They were like, hey, change the name. Nobody likes us
Oh,
anymore.
is that what they were saying? Paris Hilton?
I don't know. Yeah, they were saying Paris Hilton went to some residential school there. It's pretty.
It's like it's not a, how did you describe it?
Troubled teens or something.
Yeah, it's not that, but it is for like
I said something divergent. I can't think of the word. What's the word? It has the word divergent. Divergent kids.
social healthy skill. Like it focuses on like
Neurodivergent.
yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Neurodivergent. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. My family knows I'm watching you when they hear me yelling exactly from the other room. Yes, exactly. 21,000 in donations in 20 minutes since you shared the link. Your audience is filled with incredible souls. Good job, my B. Thank you. No, not me. You guys. Good job, you guys. Do a poll on Casey, guilty or not. This one gives me reasonable doubt. When I feel she did it, I go back and forth, and her new documentary humanized her and disturbed me more because my gut says guilty. I don't want to vote someone guilty based on a poll. So happy to have my 3 months freebie. Sent my donation to your friend's family, praying for the repose of his soul and for comfort for all those whose lives he touched. Thank you for all you do, Baron. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I know one of the concerns was the very end. We'll say too much, but I know there was concern, as any father would. Like, how's my family going to make it? Like, how are they going to do? You guys help answer that tonight. You guys helped answer that. Because absent help, I mean, she'd have been in a position to have to run back to work right away. Got very small children. So this gives time to step back and get a plan in place. And I cannot thank you guys enough. I just cannot thank you guys enough. That's been a deep weighing burden on many of the hearts around here. So thank you. You're a lovely friend, Baron. Your friend is watching over you, and I'm sure he's very thankful for what you're doing for his family. You guys are doing it. I'm just telling you how. I'm not telling you how, I'm telling you where. 50-50? Don't know what that means, but thank you. Oh, you're 50-50 on Casey Anthony? Baron, I find great comfort knowing you are on this case. I claim number one fan of Richmond, Virginia. I don't believe it's taken. Appreciate you. Christ is king. Indeed. Richmond, Virginia is where a lot of the FBI planes fly in and out of. I don't think we have a lot of fans in that bill. Maybe. Maybe before Dr. Erica said she doesn't drink, she should have her summer house episodes deleted where she's drinking, in my opinion. Well, I don't drink, but I'm sure there's footage of me drinking somewhere. I used to cut a pretty wide path. So, giving her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she meant she doesn't drink now. Now, if she said I haven't drank in 10 years, well, now we got evidence, but I allow people to quit. Have you ever heard of the Kessler effect? Your show is wonderful. Gracias. De nada. It describes a runaway chain reaction in space where a collision or explosion of a satellite generates thousands of pieces of high-speed debris. I don't know what that has to do with me, but no, I hadn't heard of it. I hope it doesn't happen. We rely on satellites these days. Can we do a collab on this, please? I want the deep dive. I am salivating. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. We can certainly talk about that. That's Dre from the Dre dossier. If you've not checked out her work, she does excellent work, and she's been following government websites for a while now. So check out her work on that. I would love to sit down and chat about that. Wild thought, after all the time we spent investigating, TR's lawyers may already know the full story. When will we hear their theory of the case? Trial, in all likelihood. Trial. Just like no one heard Casey Anthony's version until trial. That's why it shocked everyone. They were like, what? Have you read on X that you are angry at Candace? That's so stupid. I am not remotely angry. I'm flattered. I am flattered that she would think anything we cover on this program is worth her looking into and discovering more information about and sharing it. Why? That's the nature of the decentralized investigation. Like, it's not about taking credit. It's not about, oh, I heard about this. And I mean, let's just get the information out, please. Let's just get it out. Let people think about it, because she has a bigger platform than your humble host does. When she talks about something, there's even more electricians, there's more electrical engineers, there's more audio engineers, there's more sound engineers, there's more employees at Rode, there's more explosive experts, there's more people that hear it. And I'm not even saying she got it from your humble host. She did credit John Bray. John Bray has done yeoman's work on the exploding microphones theory. Absolutely yeoman's work. No one has done more work, I don't think, on that particular theory. Again, I am not 100% sold on any one theory. But no, I'm not mad at Candace. Come, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Just dropping in to say, hey. Randall, just saying, hey. You got to say more than that, my friend. You've got to say more than that. I have something for you, but I haven't shipped it yet. I'm really bad about getting to the post office box. Thank you, Randall. Baron, you're amazing. Who from America's Greatest Ally would purchase meat that is not kosher from the U.S.? MRE meat. I'm active duty military, and I have no interest in MRE meat. Very suspicious. Well, I think what they have is beef jerky, and it's just beef jerky, and they're just calling it MRE meat. I don't think it's actually MRE meat. I think that's just a marketing gimmick. They claim it's kosher. I don't know. Who am I to? I'm not kosher, so I don't know what makes something kosher. Your open brought back memories. I lived in Orlando at the time. I had a 3-year-old niece with the same first middle, but the first was spelled a bit differently. So heartbreaking and hit especially close to home. I bet it did. That's crazy. I guess I can't remember Kaylee's middle name. Kaylee Ann or something. I guess I can look at my open. I think I put her whole name in there. Kayla Marie. Yeah, that's not the most common combination of names, particularly for a 3-year-old at that time. Baron, thank you. I remember when you did the 100,000 giveaway. I'd always been watching a while before that. Thankful for the humble host and this high IQ outfit. It was $1,000 giveaway. It went to someone named Arizona Girl. And then I never heard from her again. But I saw she collected the thing off Amazon. Like, I sent her an Amazon gift card, like electronically. And it took a couple days, but you check in and you can see if they've claimed it. And she finally claimed it. And then I was like, okay, thanks. But no, I don't care. I don't care. It was fun. It was a fun night. That was a fun night. Worst bug at TPUSA is Blake Sneff. They must have stuffed him in a website. I don't think he fits in there. He needs to go to the gym a little more. Great reporting, sir. Collab with Dre. Please consider further the Teddy and DJT correlation. One organic, one manufactured. Too many political similarities. DJT invokes Teddy's aura. I'm not weird, okay? I don't think you're weird, meme collector, even with a name like meme collector. I'd hate to look at your phone. Just using my milestone to say hello. Thank you for all the work you do. I donated a few pounds to Jeff's family, sending love and prayers from the UK. All the way from Lancashire, UK. Thank you. I'll give you the number 1 spot. Have you checked TPUSA's privacy cookie policy? Notice statements. Reach out to their privacy office if they have one. Exhaust every privacy trigger points. This is a great thread to pull on. No, but I intend to do that with the Arizona Senate Republicans. I intend to call them and say, hey, are you aware this is going on your website? You know you don't have a privacy policy up that I can find? Like, if you don't collect anything, I guess you don't need a privacy policy. I go back and forth between they are purposely skewing the facts of the case so that TR does get off to TR covered his butt by turning himself in. I lean more towards the latter. Either way, they don't seem prepared. Who are they? Prosecution? State? Feds? Fed sloppers? Fed sloppers are not prepared. They're panicked. They're absolutely panicked. I'll guarantee you that. I assume they're just scraping data for political ops. Payment to them could come in any form, including access to people with power. Probably. Maybe they are voting machines. What is? I don't know what that means. Thankful to God I can afford to send funds to my B and Jeff's family. God bless you all. And prayers for the repose of his soul. Kate, thank you. Very kind of you. Very, very, very kind of you. Thank you. Rest in peace, Jeff. Indeed. Rest in peace, indeed. When you say camera on a website, as they are looking at you via a camera on your device, or are they screen recording? They're screen recording. I'm just using camera as an analogy. I don't mean to suggest they're like watching you go number 2 as you're scrolling. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting they're recording what's going on your screen, heat mapping it. It's a little weird. Grand jury came through for your friend. Go check. Thank you for all you do. Prayers for the family of your friend. Love you, B. I'll check again now that you've mentioned it. Thank you. Holy mackerel, guys. Holy mackerel. That is amazing. You know, there were like 275 donations before we went live. There's now over 1,000 donations. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You think with all the data they're hijacking, they know how much we despise them and mainly EK. Also, did you do something different with your hair? No. I mean, it's not kind of long right now. I asked Mrs. Coleman to make me a hair appointment, so I will be getting new hair. Not new hair. I'm not Jack Hibbs. I'll be getting reduced amounts of hair here in the next few days. I'm not sure what day it is. Next week sometime. But in the meantime, you're stuck with this. You can see the grays in the temple kind of shining in the studio lights. It's weird. The beard went white. The up here is not really that gray. I think if I shaved my beard, I would look younger. If I do this, do I look younger? I don't care. I don't care. Also sending something for your grandbaby soon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And she was here this afternoon. Just being beautiful. Just being beautiful. Operation Off the Grid. Activate now. P.S. Donated to the Armstrong family. Thank you for doing that. Off the Grid, activate now. Why? What's happening? You know something I don't? TPUSA worships money, not Jesus. Changed my mind. Them's fighting words. In 2021 podcast, Erica said every Bible app message came directly to her personal phone and that she personally replied daily with answers, encouragement, and inspiration. Teens are their targets. Oh my goodness. Is that true? They target teens and then the teens send messages to her phone? I didn't know teens were their target. Do the Bible app messages still go directly to her phone? Because that's weird. Do you think TPUSA 2.0's now interprets limited size of government as totalitarian leadership of the donor class? Oh, yeah. I guarantee you. They're not doing anything that the billionaire class doesn't. I don't think. Do you think the tracking is doing more than just tracking those sites, like somehow tracking everything you do on your own personal computer? Not based on the tools we showed you tonight, but we've not done a thorough and exhaustive search of everything on their site. Maybe with some time we could find some more tracking tools. I don't know. It's a good question. Did the government set that up for TPUSA? The United States government? But I don't know. That's kind of creepy and kind of made my legs run cold. The hypocrisy of having trackers on a website that says preserving freedoms, limited government. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your friend's page. Glad to see we, the jury, come together to help God bless his family. Yeah, that's why I was asking you guys to be patient, because I knew that I knew they would allow me to put it up. I knew they would. I just had to hear from her. I'm not going to share something that, even though you can't see the kids' faces, you could see I think one or two of his kids were in there. Plus his face, his name, her face. I wasn't going to share that without their permission. It's just not something I'm going to do. But she did text me today. Actually, it was tough because she texted me on a thread that had him on it. And so it came through and at first glance, it kind of looked like he was texting. I was like, what in the world? Because it was a group text with Mrs. Coleman, me, her, and Jeff. It was a little weird when it came through. But yes, thank you for your support. I cannot possibly express how thankful I am, and I just know how she's going to appreciate it. And I know this has been such a heavy concern. Like, what do we do next week, next month, next? Um, like, can you enroll the boys in baseball this fall? That kind of stuff. So I just telling you guys, thank you. As a former employee at an advertising agency, this is insanely accurate and borderline terrifying how much they're tracking. Government websites would have to approve the tag as well. I would think they should have to approve it before somebody throws a tag on their website. How else would it get there? First super chat, but I'm an hour behind. I want to say how amazing it is to see a $33,000 increase in that time. He was blessed to have a friend like you. You sincerely inspire me to be a better man. I'll tell you, comments like that inspire me to be a better man because I want to live up to whatever it is you think is happening over here. I'm just an old man with a gray beard, hearing aids, bad shoulders, and a hoodie addiction. And that inspires me to want to be a better man. So thank you for that. Mrs. Coleman and I cleaned out our closet the other day, whatever day that was, Tuesday. And I got to calm down on the hoodies. I had the show hoodies and I had like casual hoodies. I got to find something else to wear. Like I need to branch out a little bit. It was a little much. Peace, comfort, and prayers to Jeff's family and friends. May our collective donations help lighten the burden during this difficult time. This caring community and our amazing host are truly special. Yeah, that's it. It's lightening the burden. You can't replace him. I mean, all people are irreplaceable, but he was particularly irreplaceable in my opinion. Particularly irreplaceable. And but I know that many in the community have been so terrified. Like, how are they going to go to like groceries? He worked in like a fee for service industry. I don't know if it's on the website or not. I don't want to give too much away, but it was like, if he's not performing a service, he's not getting paid. So there's no like paycheck coming next week. So there's a lot of questions like, what do they do? What do they do? Like, and this has been amazing. This is unbelievably amazing. Unbelievably amazing. Thank you. Baron, today is my mom's heavenly birthday. Donating to Jeff's GoFundMe felt like God allowing me to gift Jeff in her name. Thank you. God bless Jeff's soul and his family. Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm sorry you lost your mom, but it sounds like you have a wonderful outlook on it. Do the redirect TPU pages say when they were bought by TPU? Is this before or after the big day? They do. You'd have to go back and look at them individually. I don't know if I have that pulled up. Yeah, no, you'd have to go back and look at them individually. The Tyler Robinson one, I think was actually purchased on the day of the, TylerRobinson.com was purchased September 21. That was the day of the memorial. So somebody went to the memorial and thought we should buy TylerRobinson.com. Charlie got owned and Kirk got owned were both September 16th. So 6 days after the big event. That's weird though, right? If it was before, that would be very odd. That would be awful. Hi B. In Ray to Aileen website, I found a Hawaiian news article on Victor Marks where Eileen was spelled Aileen. Really? That's weird. De toilets, micro PP, French, Macron. Is that what it means in French? I don't speak French. De toilets? Toilet? I don't know how anyone speaks French, frankly. It's written in French. I have to say English translation. Canvases. Canvases or paintings. De toilets. The plural of toilet translates primarily to canvases or paintings. Yeah, I don't know what that is. The paintings of Micro peepee? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a Mark Levin reference, if we're being honest. Détoilé is French for of the stars. So debunker of the stars. Debunker of the stars. What? Oh, de étoile. Desetoile. English translation. I should have done this before the show. I just did. Stars. Debunker of the stars. I don't know what all that. I mean, what does debunker of the stars mean? They believe space is fake. Are they flat earthers? Is that what that means? I think they're flat earthers. Debunkers of the stars. We've settled it. Done. Well, now we got to figure out what micro PP means. Baron for Super Chat. Do you think Frank and TP security changed into scrubs, not because of blood, but because of bomb residue to quickly destroy evidence? That was raised by a lot of super chatters last night. What's tonight? Thursday? Yeah, last night. And I think the answer to that is unknown. I don't know the answer to that. Thank you. Appreciate that. For $2,500, I'd expect hors d'oeuvres to be spelled properly. Oh, no. Did they misspell it? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Did they really misspell it? I don't even know that I know how to spell it. I could have been the one that put that up. Founder's Ball. Here we go. What do we get? Register now. Heavy hors d'oeuvres. It is spelled wrong, isn't it? It has an S in it because isn't it supposed to be like horse divorce or something? Yeah, they spelled it wrong. They left out an S. Yeah, it cost you $5,000 to get the S. You get hors d'oeuvres with no S for $2,500. For $5,000, we'll throw the S on that bad boy. The Private Club is a big club, and we ain't in it. Thank you, George Carlin. That's a great bit by him. An absolutely great bit. A meeting place for all the spooks, both USA and our greatest ally, perhaps others. I'm weirded out by the Private Club. If I'm being honest, I'm weirded out by the Private Club. Particularly there in Tucson. Tucson's a big defense contracting area. It's right off Fort Huachuca. Fort Huachuca is just down the road, just like a few minutes down the road. A little weirded out by the Private Club. I wonder if the Old Pueblo Bar is part of the Einstein network. Seems super suspicious. I don't want to go maligning this business, and they might have hired some chud to do the website, and he was from TPUSA and just stuck their trackers. I don't know, but maybe. But Baron and Co. Thank you for all you do and all the research. RBP is a really high IQ. Hugs from Slovenia. Well, a special shout out to Daisy there. She pulled so much of this. We talked our way through it, but she's the tech guru. I'm just sitting here going, stop. Explain what that means. What are you looking at? She's teaching me like I'm 4. I feel like a 4-year-old on these phone calls. Where do I apply to get a Daisy at my fingertips? You could be so lucky. I do that a lot. I'll text and say, hey, can you pull this? And it just appears. When I was little, instead of disappears, I used to say disappears. I don't know why I said that, but I said just appears, and it reminds me when I used to say disappears. For the websites that forward you, can anyone register for those, or does it need to come from the authorized owner of the website domain? Well, that's funny you should ask, Alan. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can leave your website open so that anyone can redirect your website. That's kind of dangerous. Or you can close it off, and I don't know which TPUSA has chosen. You can make it so that other websites can't redirect you. I don't know which one they've done. My question is, if Flood made a signal, how did Harpole see this signal to push the trigger? Just a thought. Well, you're assuming a fact, not an evidence. I think it's beyond dispute Harpole did something weird. You're seeing Harpole push a trigger. I've heard that argument. I admit it looks weird what he's doing under there, and it did look weird because he walked back at just the right time. He looked up at the roof. It looks like he looked up at the roof. The walking back at just the right time is indisputable. Whether or not he was aware that it was the right time is a different inquiry altogether. He did look up. That's indisputable. Whether he was looking at the roof is, again, a subject of debate. And he did have his hands in a weird position, and he looked to be fiddling with something in his pocket. So I don't know what Harpole was doing. But you'll notice if you watch the video, and I can't play it because YouTube freaks out anytime you play that video. But if you notice, he does walk like he's standing in a forward position, kind of at Charlie's maybe 2:00, and then he walks like to Charlie's 3:30, right before it happens, like 10, 15 seconds before it happens. And he would have a better line of sight with Frank Turek and Dan Flood from that position. But he, man, in that moment, like everyone else he does not. He doesn't even look up. He just turns and runs right to Charlie. Maybe he's just super trained, or maybe he knew something. I don't know. Great question. Worth discussing. Truly the best community on the planet. God bless Jeff's family. May we all have a friend like Barron. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. And God bless his family indeed. Beef jerky is a theme in the E-Files. It was a theme in the E-Files. You're right. Now that you mention it, they had a weird beef jerky thing going on, like the old pizza emails. You're right. It was such a theme that it was freaky. People were like, "Oh, you're going to bring the beef jerky?" And I don't think they were talking about anything living. It sounded like they were talking about beef jerky. They either were really big fans of beef jerky or it was something else they were bringing. Did not sound like they were bringing live humans anywhere. That's an interesting comment. That's a very interesting comment. Why hasn't Terrell Farnsworth been charged with tampering with evidence? Christ is king indeed. That's been asked a lot, and the answer is I don't know. He allegedly turned that footage over to the feds. I'm actually working on a story. I'm not ready to do the story yet. I don't know that the story will ever be ready to do. I'm trying to get the story ready to do. I can't say more about it than that. About some of the other footage. And that's all I can really say. We may get an update on that. Stay tuned. And if we do, it won't be long. Just wondering from a 74-year-old Grams, do I dare ask, was Charlie really who we thought he was? Because how could he be that out of touch with reality? So blessed by this community, Christ is king indeed. A similar question was asked on the principal's show today. They asked her, and I think her impression was, a lot of these people around Charlie were pretty sneaky people, and it's possible that they just pulled one over on him. I don't know. I did not know Charlie. Let's get them over the goal. Go fund if you can. Christ is king indeed. Bless you, my B. You guys are very kind. Very, very kind. Holy mackerel. It's at 120 right now. I get emotional every time I refresh it. Y'all are going to think I'm a sap. Beef jerky from the J Files. That's a really interesting question. A really interesting question. I'm frankly a little terrified right now. That's because Candace was just talking today about all the connections from the E-Files and all the connections from the E-Orbit. Got to create a date for the wild Nethin sites, maybe? No. Yes, some of them. I think most of them were after. Obviously the ones that reference Tyler Robinson and stuff. We love you and we love your friends. Oh, I love you more. Darling Gamini. Thank you. We appreciate you. Prayers and love to Jeff's family. Thank you. I appreciate you checking in. But Baron, my 2-year-old, looks adorable in her pink bull butter shirt. By the way, I can only imagine. Every mama I know wants one now. We love you so much in our home. Oh, thank you. Surrendered. I bet she looks amazing. If you want one of your own, realbaronpodcast.com, click merch and then click view all, and you'll see all the different designs and things available. Lots of love and prayers from our community to the Armstrong family. Yeah, it helps putting a name and a face to it, honestly. It was a tough journey. We love you, Baron. And other people you love have to be pretty awesome, so we're happy to support you and them. God bless you and your family. Thank you. Very kind. All the love and prayers of this beautiful family, praying God provides all the love, comfort, and understanding needed. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, Brittany. I pray that as well. Noticer of things, but spelled like Gnostic. If it fills our heart to help your friend, and it fills our heart to help your friend and his lovely family. It fills mine, and I know it will fill hers. I know it will fill hers and all the people who love her. Knowing what we know now, I doubt if any of us would want to sample any of that Mr. E jerky. Another fantastic show. Keep up the great work. I am freaked out right now. You guys are making this connection with the jerky. Freaked out about the jerky connection. Because I remember reading the files about the jerky. And I remember thinking, what the hell are they talking about? They're not talking about beef jerky. There's no way. There's no way all that conversation is about beef jerky. No one loves beef jerky that much. Like Buc-ee's is a thing. I know that. And they have a whole wall full of beef jerky. I've been there. I've sampled the wares, but not J.E. jerky. No. But our own, we need to put feelers out for footage of soil removal crew. Interested to see if dogs were present, making sure all the boom dust removed. We've seen pictures from it. I saw no dogs. Beef jerky company that ships to Israel hits a bit different after the e-files. It does indeed. Gosh, this is crazy. Aaron, do you think they learned from their mistake of Butler and missing and decided to go for the exploding mic route, similar to the pagers? I think you raise an interesting point because someone asked yesterday on the program, Hilly Bean. Someone asked yesterday, why use a something under the shirt instead of a sniper? See, for example, Pennsylvania, Butler. I mean, that's the answer right there. That's the answer. Data center at White House is quid pro quo for TPUSA, not in files, equal POTUS filters data through the 501c3, equal legal loophole. Charlie Kirk caught on, needed to off him before left org, EK equal plant to be new JE infiltrate, married equal duo ownership. A lot going on in that comment. But I don't know that I disagree with it necessarily. I'd have to dig into that a little more. But yeah, there's a whole lot going on in that comment. Give Send Go doesn't charge, but sets a default tip that some might miss. You can set to 0. Any tip is okay and supports the platform of volunteers. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you to our humble host and wonderful members. Last week, I finally created my first YouTube videos. Nothing conspiracy oriented, just baby lullabies. But I love it. Thanks for the confidence boost. I'm a fan of creators. I think people, if you have the desire in your heart to create, even if you don't think you're very good at it, start creating. You might get better, and you might be good. You might be better than you think. And if you're not, you might get better with practice. So watch the greats, see what they do, and try to do the same. Being part of this community gives me hope. No matter what we face, we show up for each other, praising God for his light, his strength, and the reminder that hope still shines through us. Yeah, this community gives me hope. This is still humanity's still great. The jerky meat websites have anything to do with Einstein's jerky? That's what I'm wondering, man. I'm really weirded out by this. And I will spend time in the Einstein files looking at that jerky. I'm wondering what the jerky's made of. I'm being honest. Marketing biz owner, it's very simple to buy a domain and forward to someone else. Domain and DNS knowledge, all is needed. Do some of those. So some of those are probably jokes. Could be. Could be. King B, where did Candace get SUV pics? Wondering why Turning Point, if it's them, gives her the pics if they know there are pieces of Mike in them, if Mike theory is true. I can state with certainty they did not come from Turning Point. I don't believe. I can't state with certainty. I don't think they came from Turning Point. Thank you, B and Daisy, for all you do. You're an amazing individual. God bless you and your fam. My mom passed when I was 8 from cancer. My heart goes out to Jeff's children. Many prayers for them. Yeah, I was thinking about that. And I don't know what memories you have of your mother from when you were that age. But I know, like, his 1-year-old. I mean, I can't imagine a scenario where that 1-year-old remembers. Maybe not even the 2 and the 4, or the 4 and the 6, or however old they are. think they're 1, 4, and 6. I don't know. I've struggled with that. Probably nothing, but wanted to mention it. Check out Jack Ruby's mom's birth middle name. She bears enough of a resemblance to Frank Turek. I thought I'd mention it. Cheers. Jack Ruby's mom. Do we know? Fanny Turek Rutkowski. Okay. Do we have a picture of her? There's a picture of her. Does she look like Frank Turek? Oh, that's Rose. I was saying that doesn't look like her. That looks like Rose Kennedy. Does she look like Frank Turek? I don't know. I'm not good at this game. You know who's great at this game? Mrs. Coleman. You can show her a picture of anyone. If she's seen them one time in her life, she'll be like, that's the guy who was in line at the Arby's in 1997. I'm like, really? She's great at the face game. Your humble host just sees blur. He doesn't see faces. He sees blur. I mean, I see well. I got great eyes. I got better eyes than she does. She wears specs, but I don't do the face game very well. The Jerky Meats website have anything to do with Epstein? I don't know. I'm worried about it. Time to raise the GoFundMe goal. The jury clearly understood the assignment. Let's look. Goal has been raised. Man, you guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing. 2,000 donations. About 1,700 individual donations since we've went on air. That's like, I don't have words for that. That's incredible. That's incredible. He would be so thankful to know you guys are taking care of his family. It's funny that the last time I got emotional a lot while I was out there, but the very last time I got emotional was the last time I walked out of the room. We went to see him 3 different times over the couple of days. And he noticeably declined each time. But the third time, he was in and out. But I just saw it, and I just knew that he was so worried about what was going to happen to his family. And we walked out, kind of individually. There were several of us in there, and I was the second one to walk out. And there was somebody else who was already out there, and I was misty-eyed. And the guy asked what was bothering me, and I said, I'm one of those parents that thinks as long as I'm here, I can take care of my kids. Like, I lose a job, I could, whatever it is. But I like feel as long as I'm here, I can take care of them. I cannot imagine the panic I would feel in that moment, knowing. I think at that point, with near certainty, he knew he wasn't going to make it, and he was very, very close, like hours. I can't imagine the panic knowing that I will not be here to take care of my kids. Not be here to take care of my wife. Like, how do they go to the grocery store? Like, who's gonna take care of that? And this answers that. At least for a little while. I mean, for a long while. This takes care of that. But not to mention the expense of traveling back home, the expense of like I said, a dignified burial. So thank you. I cannot tell you enough. Thank you, because that was a real concern of everyone around us. How do you think WP tracking links into new U.S.-Iran MOU signing? Link to past future events. Hence, start with state gov. WP the national. I don't know what that means. I don't think. WP tracking. I don't think the TPUSA tracking of the Arizona Senate Republicans has much to do with the Iran deal. But if the question is there greater tracking going on, I don't know the answer to that. Wasn't able to watch the whole show last night, so finished this morning and was appalled that Brandon called you a coward. No room for such talk. Bye, Brandon. Christ is king indeed. I don't even remember what he called me a coward about. Honestly, that's how little I cared about it. J and F is because of the traffic coming in. They're tracking if people directed from J&F for donating. That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought of that. I haven't thought of that you're wanting to see if the person followed through with what I don't know. Okay, I can follow you to the Google Manager then. Couldn't locate J&F. I tried to pull it up on screen. I don't know how to talk you back through that. But thank you, Edge. Edge! Edge likes when I say Edge. Paying just to hear say cocktail weenies again. Did I talk about cocktail weenies? Christ is king indeed. Oh yeah, the hors d'oeuvres. I did say cocktail weenies. I was like, when did I say that? I was thinking of the micro peepee. No, it wasn't that. It was the hors d'oeuvres, heavy hors d'oeuvres, So at the Coleman family, we will dump a whole package of cocktail weenies in a crock pot or a pot on the stove and put in a jar of jelly and a bottle of barbecue sauce. And that's a treat at our house. Grape jelly, blackberry jelly, whatever, some kind of purple jelly, and a whole jar of barbecue sauce. Let that baby heat up. It puts like a sappy syrup on it. That's a treat. Don't eat that every day. You'll die. That'll kill you. But it's delicious. It's delicious. I just donated on the GoFundMe page and it said you donated $0. Oh, it says that. I don't know why it says that. I think it's in case you want to share it, but you don't want to share how much you donated for whatever reason. Trust me, it got it. I got the same notice and I donated more than $0. If you refresh the page in like 5 minutes, you'll see your donation with the amount. So I don't know why it does that, but that is a glitch. Your money is counted. Charge went through. My Apple Pay was taken out of my account. Yeah, it's there. I promise you it's there. And I got the exact same notice today. Number one fan in Orem, Utah. Yes, that Orem, Utah. Joey. Checking in from the scene of the crime. Apparently the scene of many crimes. You can't spank a cat. No, you can't. You can't. Oh, guys, you crack me up. This is real joy you're seeing here in my face. Number one in E-Town, Kentucky. I've been to E-Town, Kentucky. There's a Shoney's right off exit 92? 96? In there somewhere. I found the Barren Lake by chance and told my husband we had to check it out because it was the name of my favorite podcaster, though spelled wrong. He said I was crazy, but now it's his favorite. Oh, you might be a little crazy, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be crazy. Edge, regarding the donating, why does the goal change? Obviously, their needs will be ongoing, but I've never seen the goal change. Do you know? Please extend my sympathies and hugs to her and the children. I've seen that before. I think it's something intrinsic to the platform, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a way to, I don't know if it's motivational or what. I think it's something that happens with the platform, but I'm not mistaken. I don't know the answer to that. Theory about the paper bag in Charlie's car was used to block vision to what they were doing to his chest. I believe they were placing the plastic on top of the bag. Please check my X post out. My handle is Blake Sneff12. Theory about the paper bag in Charlie's car used to block vision to what they were doing to his chest. I think that was just like a DoorDash bag. I don't know what they were doing with it. But your theory's as good as anyone's. Baron being with my patients in their final moments is always such an honor. Your friend is so blessed to have you. Sigue adelante el máximo mi rey. What's funny about Maximo is I don't know if I should tell this story or not. Yeah, I guess. I used to run an anonymous X account. It had the word Maximo in it. That's all I'll say. I won't give the rest of it. And I used to cause havoc with that thing. I would hear things posted on that account, watch all the little political operatives freak out. They're like, who's saying this? How do we know this? It was fun. It was fun. Back in the day. It was fun back in the day. Rosie, you're very kind. You're very kind. Not high IQ, but to me, this is next level investigation. TPUSA makes Scientology look like amateurs. Please be my barrister. Baron, have a great weekend. You're barrister. You must be British. British. Bricks and Minifigs, American Fork Police Corruption, same judge as Tyler Robinson. I've heard that. He's getting all the famous cases. Widow brain is real, completely involuntary. When someone loses a spouse or someone extremely close, it is visible on brain scans. I believe CO experienced this and why anyone who has experienced it detests Erica. I will say that I've said many times, Erica is despised by the widow community. I'm sorry she is. It's probably the class of people in the country hardest on her. Edge, King B, just in case you missed it, shouting, you have an awesome jury. I have an awesome jury? Your humble host has an awesome jury? Let me pull it back up. Where'd it go? Why can't I find it? There it is. I keep closing it. I should just leave it there. Wow. It's 150% higher than it was before the show started. Or you've added 150% to what it was before the show started. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sigue adelante Maximo, indeed. Indeed. You guys are amazing. Grand jury coming through for Baron. Glad to donate anonymously. You and Dre ought to dig through this esoteric internet stuff. Political care package will be on the way soon, including a Kennedy bumper sticker. Cohen Film, you have bumper stickers too? I cannot wait. I called them 2 or 3 days ago and asked, when's my package going to be ready to pick up my frame? And they said before July. They had to wait on some specialized historical document preservation glass. We're doing this right, Cohen Film. We're doing this right. I don't know if I've explained that, but that way if it drops and falls, it won't risk damaging it. So we're doing this right. Mr. Com 10, aka Santa. What are dinner plans? I don't care about unfortunate looking Tim. Yes. What are we eating tonight? Beef and beans? Beans and toast? What is it British people eat? Beans and toast? Don't they put beans on top of toast? Weird. I'll allow it. Vegemite for our Australian friends. Vegemite on toast. Baron, I pray everyone in the high IQ jury has a friend like you. Love your show, and love this community. I love this community a lot. You guys have been unbelievable. I cannot wait to talk to his family. I just got a text from a friend who heard from Jeff's sister. And they said, wow, Steve, can you text Baron and let him know we are crying? You guys have genuinely deeply touched his family. Thank you. You're a real friend and a blessing to Jeff and his family. You've impacted many by the example you set. Christ is king indeed. Jeff was a real friend. I don't want to just sit here and. He was amazing. If you know, in the church, they open up causes for canonization, typically for like people in religious orders or priests or whatever, because there's like a community behind them pushing it. If they opened one for lay people, he would be a candidate. A longtime listener, first-time caller, thanks for letting us help. Also, has anybody checked on Joe? She might not be okay. I have a theory about Joe. I have a theory that Joe just changed her handle and is still here. Hopefully she got the book. Joe, did you get the book? If you got the book, you read the book. See, you'll notice your humble host has read the book. He takes notes. There's some highlights in here. Yeah. You got to read the book. You got to understand the book. You got to work with the book, Joe. And if she did that, she's probably a very high IQ and productive member of this community. She's been introduced to logic. So that's my theory. Check out the blanket in my thumbnail. I crocheted for my brother-in-law. Finally finished this monster. He lives in Limestone, Tennessee. Hi, Tommy. You crocheted that? It looks amazing. People are skillful. If I tried to crochet something, it would look like Clark Griswold's Christmas lights. Not on the house, but like in the ball when he takes it out. He's like, here, Russ. Hubby and I, if you can't use it alone, don't use it together. Like the IRS, theirs. Christ is king indeed. You can't use it alone, don't use it together. Like the IRS, theirs. I don't know what that means. Does that make me low IQ? I need to read I need to brush up on the book. Christ is king indeed. I know that part. Love and God bless this amazing community. Thank you, B. Christ is king indeed, Renee. Indeed. AI says he was Mirandized in Washington County. Date stamped, like you said. That is a documented, concrete timestamp in the record. Also mentioned inmate statements. He came into Utah County around 4 a.m. I don't think there was a concern about what time he got to Utah County. That's pretty well documented. And as for the AI saying he was Mirandized in Washington County, that's probably your humble host's fault. Because we said it, and so a lot of people said it on X, and then the AI scrapes X. That's what a lot of these nonprofits are doing is they're just, and that's why all these trolls exist. That's why they pay the trolls. They're just trying to dupe the AI system to say what they want. So anytime you see these like low budget trolls, that's all they're doing is trying to dupe the AI. 424-26, Jay Dyer interviews Courtney Turner, who says around 28 minutes that E3 Tech was human terrain systems and cultural linguistics. Info now completely scrubbed from archives. She thinks that is what TPUSA is about. I believe you. I believe you that it said that. I know about the veracity of her claims, but I often wonder what Charlie's kids will make of all this when they get older and watch back all the footage and commentary. What will they think of their mother? I don't know. It's a good question. I lost my husband in December. I can't imagine going through it with small children. I've given to the fun. You were very kind, Sharon. Thank you. I can't either. I'm sorry for your loss. I don't want to think about it because I have small children. I don't want to think about one of us going through that. A bone to pick. I cannot stop hearing everybody up talk and I'm going insane. I'm sorry for pointing that out, Lori. It's my fault. I should have just let it go. Seems like everybody under 40 talks that way. Glad we could take pressure off for your friend. God bless. Yeah. No. As to the last part, absolutely. And you guys came through in such a massive way. You have the family crying. Tears of joy, I'm assuming. The up talking, I have no idea where it came from. It was like a Valley Girl trope in the 90s. And then all of a sudden, it became the standard way to talk, and I don't know where. It's your integrity and amazing humanity that attract this community. So glad to be here. Thank you. Those are very kind words. Please look into ivermectin, bendazole, and fenbendazole as a cancer treatment. They finally published a study in medical journal after years of trying, cured multiple stage 4 patients, some in 2 months. I've read some of that. I've seen some of that. Thank you. GoFund, proof this chat is real, not bots. Yeah, I think the GoFundMe is proof that not only is the chat real, but we have an amazing community, like a very generous, giving, kind, loving community that is very supportive of the program, but supportive of people in need. I mean, just the way I hear you guys talk about each other, praying for them, and it's amazing, amazing. Lizzie, thank you. Wow. As a new widow myself, it does my heart good to give to your friend's wife on the GoFundMe. Know how sad she must be feeling right now. Hopefully the financial help will give her some peace of mind while dealing with a broken heart. Praying for her and the kids tonight. Thank you, Lizzie. You're on like day 90. It was in March, wasn't it? Maybe getting close to day 100. Thank you, Lizzie. It's very kind of you to do that. And we still pray for you. Thank you. Thank you. Baron, your empathy and concern for your friend and his family is beautiful. It seems beyond a reasonable doubt that TPUSA is a front for nefarious activities. I pray you and the principal can facilitate justice CK deserves. Well, first, thank you. Thank you. I don't know about beyond reasonable doubt, but I certainly have strong suspicions that they're a front for nefarious activities. I do. A jerky in the e-file sounded like it was referencing something edible of the human variety, or maybe just a transported person. The meat company referring info to TPUSA connected. Guys, you may have put together a connection here we didn't have, but yes, they were talking about beef jerky all over the e-files, and it sounded to me like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say what it sounded like, but it sounded edible, and it sounded like it wasn't animal or plant. And now you guys are talking about a jerky company that's sending information to TPUSA. I'm weirded out. I'm honestly weirded out. Goals been met and more. Christ is king indeed. It's because you guys are amazing. As someone whose family's benefited from the generosity of strangers, first when my cousin was abducted and then when my nephew was diagnosed and died from a rare leukemia, thank you to this amazing community. God bless. This community is stood tall. I felt bad asking people to be patient. I was like, I'm not going to put this up without hearing from the family. So when we were able to hear from the family, thank you. Your cousin was abducted and then your nephew died. Man, you've been through some tragedy. Yeah, that's what community is. I mean, that's honestly, like when you think of a nonprofit, that's what we think of, right? We think of somebody helping in time of need. Like, I don't want this person to suffer, so here, have some help. Like, that's it. Hello from this Kiwi in New Zealand, perhaps number one fan down under. Love how genuine you are. Christ, I'm going to assume that you pressed the I button and accidentally pressed the U button, and you weren't calling me that word. I hope not. That wouldn't be very kind. In the JE files, it was called Jerky 2, just saying, yeah, I'm totally weirded out by this and am going to dig into it. Yes, they did have beef jerky. Christ is king indeed. Mystery meat or Mr. E as in JE and his beloved beef jerky from his emails. Yes, you guys are nailing the jerky thing. You guys are nailing the jerky thing. Are they selling Einstein beef jerky? I don't know. Please know it is our sincere honor to represent you by donating to an actual grieving widow. This is what the Bible actually refers to at the mention of helping the widow. Christ is king indeed. I agree with that. I mean, it's I'm not knocking wealthy people, but it's a totally different scenario when you have tens of millions of dollars and flying around on a Gulfstream 5 every time you travel. That's a different thing than like, hey, I'm stuck on the West Coast and I've got to get back to the East Coast with my family or down south with my family, and I have to bury my beloved husband, and I'm not sure where the resources are going to come from to take care of my kids while we get situated and settled. I cannot thank you guys enough. Christ is king indeed. Have you looked into Charlie's security guy who leaped over the table, grabbed something off his body, gave it to some other man, and ran away? I have. I don't think that accurately describes what happened. I don't know whether something was taken off his body. I do have my suspicions that at least one item was removed from his body. I do think something at one point, some piece of something was taken off his body. Where it went, I don't know. I think there were a lot of people that were expecting things to be handed off because there were a lot of like people reaching, but there was nothing handed off, and I don't know why that is. Was there supposed to be something out there that wasn't? I don't know. Awesome community supporting Baron's friend, R.I.P. Jeff. Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. 100% convinced DK hasn't had one sincere moment of grief, putting my amazing pup down in the morning, and I'm more upset in one day than she's been cumulatively. Prayers appreciated. Thanks for the distraction. Thank you. And I'm sorry to hear about that. Maybe MRE is a play on words mystery meat. I too donated to your sweet friend. By the way, have you checked your Venmo? Christ is King. Much love to you, your family, and Nurse Casey. Julie, I will. I need to. I am terrible about checking Venmo, and I need to. And I'm always humbled when I check it because there's several people who donate through Venmo, and I thank you for that. I thank you for that. So I will check it tomorrow. I'll check it in the morning when I get up. I can't commit to checking it tonight because it's pushing 10 o'clock now. Actually, I might. I'll check it when I get up. But I like to usually respond to the few. It's not like thousands of people donate, but there's enough that I have to take the time to sit and I like to respond. And I need to do that when I have a few minutes. So thank you if you donated there. Thank you. Very kind of you. Hopped on late. When was the 9/10/2025 actually set up for redirect? I'd have to look that up. I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. Oh no, Einstein also had a jerky supplier. Up to almost 116,000 as of a few seconds ago, and you are 47 minutes behind because now it is at 134. 134. And I cannot tell you how thankful. You guys are flat out incredible. Absolutely incredible. Baron, prayers for Jeff's family and for our amazing community, and to you, friend, how wonderful life is with you in this world. How wonderful life is you in the world. That's a beautiful song. Who is that? I have a name, but I don't want to say it and sound stupid. Is that Jeff Healy? Oh, no, that's Elton John. I told you I'd sound stupid. Sorry. I'm sorry. Please change to Tuesdays, your Baptist churchgoers. I've talked to Mrs. Coleman about that. The problem is that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then one day off, and then just Thursday. So it's like a random day hanging out there. And my little symmetrical brain can't process that. I have trouble with that. Wow, Scott. Thank you. Google Theodor Herzl, Hungarian Jewish journalist and lawyer, father of political Zionism. Herzl formed Z organization, Jewish immigration to Palestine, which in the late 1900s was part of Ottoman Empire in an effort to form a Jewish state. Did not believe in God. JNS site. Theodor Herzl. I can Google him. I may not be able to read about it right now online, but I can Google it and hold it later. Done. I died in 1904. He's old. Actually, he's not old. He was only 44 when he passed. I'll check him out. Thank you. And thank you for that generosity. Very kind. Love seeing this community come together for your dear friend and his family. Always love the show. From your number one fan in Navarre, Florida. I've been to Navarre, right on the Panhandle. Will you be watching any of the court proceedings with TR? They had a full day on Monday. Some, the ones that interest me. That one didn't interest me. That one didn't interest me much. I probably will watch some of the trial. I don't know that I will watch. I don't know that I'll watch it all. Favorite story about Jeff. I'll give you a recent story, an interesting story, a funny story. That's what I think of when I think of him. It's not even funny. It's just him being kind. So I was trapped at the ballpark because we spent a lot of time at the baseball park. And Jeff's 13-year-old son was playing, or I guess he was 12 at the time, but he was playing ball up there at the same time. And he was watching his game, and I needed to go home. And I can't remember why I didn't have a car. I don't know if Mrs. Coleman dropped me off and I just stayed late for something. She was going to come back and pick me up, or I can't remember why I was there, but I was stuck. And I ran into him, and he was like, "You look stressed." And I was like, "I'm not stressed. I just know I'm going to be here for another hour." He's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have a car." He was like, "Well, take mine." I was like, "Well, then you don't have a car." He's like, "I'll figure it out." And I was like, "What do you mean you'll figure it out? You're here with your kids." He's like, "Yeah, it'll be fine." Like, take my car. I was like, "I'm not going to take your car." He was like, "I'll drive you home." I'm like, "Your kid's playing. Watch your kid." He's like, "You need help." I was like, "What do you mean I need help? I'm fine. I'm at the park." He's like, "Look, get in my car. I'll take you home." He's like, "If you won't take my car, I'll take you home." And I guess I could have taken his car and then had someone here. I've got 5 drivers in the house. I could have had someone here take me back up there, and take. But the fact that he was just like, "Yeah, take my car. I'll figure it out." That is classic. Like, that is as Jeff as I know. That is the Jeffest story I can tell. He didn't care. He was like, "Yeah, have it. Yeah, what? It's a car. Go. Have fun." He's just generous and kind, and like, he saw me in need, and it was more important than anything he was doing. And I cannot tell a better Jeff story than that right now in this moment. It's amazing. It's amazing. Number 1 from Uruguay, now in Metter, Georgia. Sorry for your loss. Praying for you, fam, and every jury member. Keep up the amazing work. Christ is, or Jesus is king. Indeed. From Uruguay to Metter, Georgia. I'm scared to ask how that happened. Did you get lost, sir? Did you run out of gas? I'm just kidding. I'm sure Metter's amazing. They're sending out their crazy mailers to people. Indeed, they are. They're smothering people with them. Community has been A+. Been with you since Google's search days. Thanks to my daughter, Rachel. We watch every show. Love your number 1 fans in Norris, Tennessee. Christ is king indeed. Sarah Smile, I think you've already claimed Norris, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. But thank you. Very kind. You've been around since Google search. You've been around a long time. I'm so proud of all you do. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Thank you. The amount of stress relief I have now because Barron said TPUSA won't be watching me while scrolling, going number 2. I didn't mean to say that. I'm so glad I can feel much better when nature calls. Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. I don't think they have that capacity. At least I didn't see it. I don't know that they don't, though. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. It was Caddis and EK, where she said of CK's parents, "They're so sweet. They told me how proud of me they are. Oh, and it's her birthday." Sounded fake. I mean, maybe it happened. I don't believe everything she says, certainly. Been a while since I caught one of my humble hosts' live shows and took it as a sign to donate to your friend Jeff as well. Keep on keeping on. I will do that. Thank you. Thank you. God bless Jeff's babies, and please make sure his wife has no glitter suits. Prayers to the family. I cannot think of a human being more opposite in disposition than Jeff's beloved is from Eric. I'm not knocking Eric in this moment. I'm just saying they're totally opposite personalities. Totally opposite personalities. While we were there, I'd never asked him, and I don't know why. But while we were there visiting him on the final day, I just asked him. I was like, "How'd you guys meet? Like, how'd you and your wife meet?" And he started telling the story, and I saw it. It choked me up. I saw her hit record on her recording, like her phone, to start recording, and I thought, how thoughtful. How thoughtful. Like, I don't even know that I would have thought of that. Like, I don't take pictures much. I'm going to take a few here and there, but I'm not a big picture taker. I just don't think about stuff like that. And I thought, how thoughtful, like, to think in that moment. I want to preserve his final words here. I want to preserve the final time he tells the story of how we met. Gosh, thank you. Thank you. God bless his family indeed. TPUSA must be a spy agency, but for who? Our greatest ally? That's an option. An option. Pick of CK with a shirt pulled up. You referenced months ago. Seems like the time to put it out. Also, hooded t-shirts are my summer hoodie. I don't know that I own a hooded t-shirt. I should check into that. Maybe that would change my life. I I've thought about the picture. The problem is YouTube would instantly strike that. So I'd have to do that probably on a Rumble exclusive or on X. It's crossed my mind. Praying for Jeff's family. Please keep us posted. I will. Ivan, B-Dog, B, Baron, B-Dog, Sir B, King B, Your Honor, Brother B, Grandpa, Bubba Baron, Counselor, Uncle Baron, Mofar, Mrs. Coleman's man, Daddy B, Wiggles, and of course, GBC. You're a good man, G. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, Ivan. I don't have all those nicknames for you, but you're a good man too, sir. Ideas for merch shirt. I'll allow it. I do say that a lot. I don't know why. Yep, French have no bloody idea how alphabet works. No, they don't even use any of the words. Like half the letters, they just skip. Like you'll see this word, it'll be 13 syllables. 13 letters long. It'll have X's and O's and U's and Y's and Z's, and they're like, Monsieur. Like, that's not a word, sir. You're just muttering at this point. Too much wine in the French culture. Made them lazy. Thank you, Baron. I'm kidding, Frenchies. Thank you, Baron, for being not only a great friend to Jeff and his family, but also being a light in the darkness, bringing truth to us all. Thank you. That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. Lazarus Love, thank you. You know, last time Lazarus Love, you donated without putting a comment in there. You had to come back later and say you hit send too early. Hope that didn't happen again. It's common for agencies to use one GTM account on multiple sites. Each site gets its own container to separate things. GTM itself isn't tracking software. It's a tool to place tags for things like Facebook. So while you're correct, the problem is it is registered to TPUSA. Like, it is theirs. It's on all their stuff. And then if it's a company, an agency doing it, they're only doing it on like 3 other sites. So I just don't believe that that's an agency doing it. Otherwise, they only have like 4 clients. I don't know. That doesn't sound like an agency to me. I've asked that very question. Daisy and I talked about that today. Does the stars relate to that creepy pastor and calling all the ladies his stars? That would make a greasy link in the TPUSA and church. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know there was a greasy pastor calling ladies stars. So honored to donate tonight to your friend's family. Just went on your merch website and bought some awesome t-shirts. We love you and Daisy. I trust you'll find they're comfortable. Mine are. Kenneth said, Huachuca Cabra. She did. I heard that. Christ is King indeed. I heard her say that. I said, hey. She should have said, Huachuca. Don't do it. Your family and friends are probably so used to the beard that seeing you without it would be a jump scare. Christ is King, biggest Richmond, Virginia fan. So funny story about that. When I first grew the beard, Mrs. Coleman was like, don't grow the beard. What are you doing? And that was like 15 years ago. It's like, don't grow the beard. We don't need the beard. And I would shave it every now and then. You know, if I had a TV appearance or I was going to an event, I would shave it. But mostly I kept it and have had it mostly for the last 15 years or so. And then when I stopped doing the TV show, 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe now, I've rarely shaved, maybe once or twice here and there. And every single time I get pushback. It's like, put it back on. Put it back on. Go get some glue until it grows back. Luckily, it grows pretty fast. Like, if I shave it down completely within a week, I'm back to about here. Close to here. But yeah, they don't like it when I shave it. This episode made me want to see our humble host, Baron, in trial mode. You know, imagine how you are in court. Love the navy blue. You rock. Kristen, Critter, thank you. I've been missing the navy blue. I still wear it, but only when it's cold outside in the gym. May Jeff rest in peace of Christ and may perpetual light shine upon him. Praying for his wife and children and to you and the Coleman clan. Thank you. Very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Love you, B. Happy to help Jeff's family. You guys are just amazing, Katie Kate. Thank you. Maybe club is for Hollywood stars and rappers. You just gave me an idea that I hadn't thought about. You just gave me an idea I hadn't thought about. I need to correct myself. My prior comment assumed you were only looking at the GTM ID. I should have waited to comment. Sorry. Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. Because you hadn't watched, you're behind. You hadn't watched the rest of the show. No, we looked at a lot of other stuff. So happy my jerky comment prompted the guest. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. It never crossed my mind. Never one time crossed my mind. Beef Jerky and E-Files, didn't the E-Meat place ship to our greatest ally? Yes. Is it the same company? Because if so, that's too big of a connection and it's over. Good night. Prayers for the Armstrong family. We have an amazing community. We do. The best. Boomer slop. Too funny. Boomer here. Well, I don't mean it to be ugly, Janie. Mr. E, Mr. Jerky. Mystery Jerky. Yeah. The one. This community is amazing. Charlie's life is still impacting people today because we all loved Charlie. We are led to you. And we were able to help your friend's family in this difficult time. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Shouldn't we be calling it mystery meat rather than Mr. E meat? Mystery, Mr. E. I get it. Do you think the Prosperity Institute site is a pivot for Tyler Boyer when TPUSA fails? I don't know what that is. I'm weirded out by that almost as much as any of it. Well, not as much as the beef jerky. So MREs are people. Well, it has a little Soylent Green feel to it, if we're being honest. Did some of the missing TETN get used in CK's mic? Oh, PETN. Papa Echo. I don't know. Coming from a sap will allow it. We would think you were EK if you didn't get emotional. We love you. Your friend, family, and so many prayers for all. P.S. Can't wait to send grandbaby's outfit. I hope it fits. Miss Jackson, I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you. I hope it fits. I'll let you know. Beef jerky equals JE files. Someone might already mention small donations sent to your friend. Wish I could have sent more. Happy we can all help. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Very kind. Very, very kind. Edge, the hoodies ain't broke. Don't fix them. As Edge walks away to count her shoe collection, she may need a new cabinet. Edge, it's a problem. It's a problem. I counted them. I don't want to say it. I will say there are 14 show hoodies that I counted. I guess 15 now that this one exists. And there were some other hoodies in the collection. There were some others. Have something dedicated to him on the site. We will continue to support as much as we can. We are a community. Christ is king indeed. Baron, you are light. Beyond light. I hope that's in a good way. Can Ian Carroll's buyer app tell us what the jerky's made of? Is there a barcode? Well, but that counts on them putting in honest information. I like the buyer app. Maybe some of the sites like TR, Kirk got owned, etc., to prevent people doing something nasty with them. The others were just weird. Love you. Christ is king indeed. The micro PP was a little weird, for being honest. Baron, please don't think you look like a sap. You look exactly who you are. That is a good man, a godly man, a good friend who lives in a constant state of honorable and faithful. We see you. Don't oversell me. Mrs. Coleman, can you get the kids in here? Read this. They need to see this. They need to see this when I'm telling them to eat their meat before they can't have any pudding if they don't eat their meat. Not that kind of meat, not the beef jerky meat. Offshnit Meat partners with NPs and donor funds to ship their jerky meat directly to active duty IDF soldiers. Christ is king indeed. And for some reason, they share data with TPUSA. TPUSA tracking people in the USA. That's actually pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. I noticed on the inbound redirect sites, there was one for Cameron Brooks, a 2024 contestant on The Voice. What is that about? Would love to dive in. I'd never heard of her or him. Probably a her spelled that way, but I don't know. Now I feel bad if it's a him. All right, I gotta look it up. I can't let that go. Cameron Brooks. It's a her. We're safe. Would have felt terrible. Actually, this day and age, it doesn't matter. Beef jerky, as in, yep. Now we're going to end up getting flagged for all this beef jerky talk. This show's going to do poorly because of you guys. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. Amen. What a beautiful prayer that is. Are you sure the jerky meat isn't human meat? I'm not sure. I don't know, and I'm not sure. Someone tell Dana Lash this is what Exodus 22:22 is. Yeah. No screw is worth $1,000. Well, that's still true. It's still true. Now I got to give people context because they'll think we're being ugly. I was saying when I had my surgery on my leg, I had like 6 screws put in the I almost said the shaft of the leg, the stump of the leg, the what's the word I'm looking for? The shin, and I had 2 screws put in the where the foot connects to the leg, ankle, and the screws were $1,000 each, and I said no screws worth $1,000. The small screws were 1,000. The big screws were 2,000. So that's where no screws worth $1,000 comes from. I'm assuming she's talking about titanium. Matt Tucciaroni has been exposing corrupt Tyler Boyer. Host him. Tyler looks to be a main perpetrator. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything you do. It's an interesting thread to pull on. Everyone needs a VPN ASAP. Jesus Christ is king. I actually joked with Daisy today. I said, I need to set my VPN to Qatar before we do this research. Get them all confused. Oh no, we're being researched overseas. Finally figured out how to send money just to say I'm your number one in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. Well, good. I'm glad you got that sorted out. I would have never known. Now, this is a high IQ outfit, but no one knows how to like and subscribe. Oh, where are we on likes? Did you guys figure that out? Yes, you did. You've done a good job. We're getting there. People. Currant jelly and mustard and weenies. Yum, love them. That sounds pretty good. I like mustard. I used some German mustard on a bison burger today. It was good. It had grilled onions and grilled mushrooms. I got to get to that restaurant in Memphis that created the Baron sandwich because they used a German mustard. I got to get that on sourdough. I can't wait. I'm going to do that soon. Had to stop what I was doing at work and donate. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you for doing that. Baron, look up the Drew Peterson case. In Will County, Illinois, he allegedly killed 3 wives. He was a cop. He grieved differently. He went to prison for the Savio case. His ex. Love all you do. Yeah, he was a different griever. There's a case I've always wanted to look into of a black widow. And I'm not sure if it's really a black widow or she's just the most unfortunate person ever. But I think there were 3 dead husbands for her, too, if I'm not mistaken. That text from your friend just made me ugly cry. Bless you, Baron, and this amazing community. Yeah. You guys, like I said, the best. I'm totally speechless, and that is rare occurrence for your humble host. Our community, come on, let's get to 200. We can do it. Oh, come on, let's celebrate our victories. Let's not. Wow. Donated 100 for Jeff. Don't know on GoFundMe. I don't know what that means. Don't know on GoFundMe. Oh, I see what you're saying. And I'll make sure that happens. But the GoFundMe link is in that QR code at the top of the screen. And in the super chat, or in the chats, not super chat, the chat, live chat on this, it should be pinned. And then when we post the show, it'll be in the description. May already be in the description. I think it is already in the description. But thank you for that. Thank you, Scott. Gave 100. God bless Jeff's family and his soul. Thank you, Sarah. You guys are very kind. You corrected someone's grammar, ending sentence with hubby and I. Drives me crazy. If you can't use it alone, don't use it together. Thought we were high IQ. We are high IQ, Susan, but English is English was once German, right? The language evolves. But the object of the preposition is me, between hubby and me. That's okay though. Love to you, Jeffrey Armstrong's family. We lost my dad, Jeffrey, 5 years ago, only 48 hours after leukemia diagnosis. Love to you, B. Thanks for letting us help. 48 hours? That's incredibly fast. That is wild. And very kind of you. Thank you. That's an interesting connection with the name there. Jury takes care of the real widows. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Quote of, you never walk alone. Was your friend a Liverpool football fan like myself? At your anthem. Most don't realize it's a hymn, no copyright claim issue. If you view share with jury, it is beyond serene. I'm not going to risk it because YouTube is so weird about music. You never walk alone. But it's beautiful. Beautiful saying. This is truly the greatest community anywhere online. Thank you for being you. Thank you guys for being you. I'm not the community. You guys are the community. Just think maybe if no other reason God gave you this platform, knowing you'd be able to help Jeff's family out. Thank you. I thought of that. Honestly. I thought of that. I mean, as we sit here right now, this is no joke. This community has raised almost $90,000 in 3 hours. That is amazing. Like, that is so unbelievably amazing. Thank you. Made donation from hubby and I. Christ is king indeed. Indeed. Thank you. High-priced private secret bar and kosher jerky linked to TPUSA. You say, yeah. Maybe they aren't such weird connections. Maybe because I was, today we were like, what is in the world? A private bar and a jerky company? What? Maybe. It's not so. Mr. E meets. Mr. Einstein meets. Yeah. Not sure if anyone's following the Lego saga from Reckless Ben. Turns out he and Charlie have same judge. Utah so awful. Jesus will be sad to see what this world has become. Jesus Christ is king. I have a feeling he knows. Thank you, blue-eyed MT. Valley Girl speak with Uptalk, and that awful use of the word like began in 1982 with Frank Zappa's song Valley Girl, followed by the 1983 movie of the same name. Now we know the cause. Now we got to stop it. Prayers for your friend. Donated. Thanks for all you do. Been here since Ian. Today is my 52nd birthday. Happy to be with y'all. Christ is king indeed. Happy to have you, Wendy C. Happy birthday to you. 52 years ago today. What year would that have been? That would have been 1974. Yeah. A good year. Wasn't that the year Nixon had to resign? Maybe not the best year. But thank you. Very kind. Aaron, we'll all nominate you to make a purchase on that jerky site and show us what is delivered. Thank you for sharing the link. Jesus loves us all. I would imagine they have different batches of jerky, maybe like special jerky and then like goy jerky. I don't know. Of course, this chat is real. This is the Real Baron podcast. We love you, so we love Jeff. God is working through you to bless Jeff's family. He's working through you. Candace would mention the Give, Send, Go. We could really raise a lot of money for your friend. You have raised a lot of money. Holy mackerel, guys. Honestly, I told my wife, I was like, they probably could raise $5,000 or $10,000 in one show. Like, what an amazing gift that would be. We're at 90. Like, my brain is exploded. I can't even tell you what it's done. It's just exploded. Lost my first husband to cancer, so I donated. Thank you. I'm sorry you experienced that, but thank you. Mystery meat, gross question, Mr. E equals mystery. Yeah. Love seeing God show up and show out by seeing people love others as they love themselves when people need it most. Christ is king indeed. Thank you for all you do. Real Cindy. So glad we were able to help Jeff's widow. I lost my husband Jeff soon after J&J vaccine with blood clots in his lungs. Fortunately, I can work from home, but still can hardly leave house. Holy mackerel. I think is that the one they pulled from the market because of blood clots? Renee, that's tragic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Holy mackerel. And thank you for helping out. I never realized Tucker Carlson up-talks in his monologues until watching Alex DeWitt's Tucker parody channel on IG. Now I can't unhear it. Does he? I haven't noticed it. I know he asks a lot of questions. in his monologues. I don't ask as many questions. Like I've studied great monologists trying to get better. You try to get better at your craft. And I've watched a lot of people and I've looked at the secrets of great monologuing and I've never noticed the uptalk. Maybe that's the key because he's the GOAT. Hi, Granddad Barron. Baby girl will be proud when she learns your effort to help your dear brother in Christ and his widow. Christ is king indeed. So happy we could help. I am so happy you could help as well. Old Pueblo Club co-owner, Blake Wilson. Creative agency, worked with Doug Ducey. Blake Wilson, ASU overlap with Tyler Boyer and Erica. Let me look. Well, that's interesting. Is that true? I got to check that out. Let me take a picture of that. Yeah, I got to take a picture. This is one of those I got a picture of. Big old crack in the camera. I hope it comes through. What a comment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Baron, for allowing us to be part of helping Jeff's family. What an honor. Christ is king indeed. It is an honor to watch. I can assure you. ORB, now a bunch of us are crying. Feel part of something special and being able to help a family so directly. It's powerful. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Today's a beautiful reminder God can bring good from tragedy. Charlie's death led to this community, and now that same community helps support your friend's family. Yes, that's a beautiful, beautiful way to look at it. A beautiful way to look at it. Both obvious tragedies. But one tragedy has led to alleviating a tremendous burden from a widow, a grieving widow with very young children. Ian's newest video is a must watch. Much love. I watch all his videos, so I will get on it. I promise you. Spirit of the Lord is so strong with this community today. I truly believe we now have an angel named Jeff watching over us as we seek truth for Charlie. I just can't imagine there's like much better people up there. I know it's heaven. I mean, there's great people, but I just have a hard time believing there's better people. People are like, here, take my car. I don't need it. You need to get home. I'm like, well, you'll need to get home. I'll worry about it then. That's later Jeff to worry about. Current Jeff knows you need help. Here, take it. Anyone watch the new movie Apex? The jerky they eat is human. No. Is that true? Apex human jerky? Is that true? A gruesome viral plot point in the Netflix survival thriller film Apex. Homemade jerky at a local convenience store. She eats the jerky entirely unaware of its terrifying origins. You know, they predictive program stuff. We've talked about that. I think I did an opening on that. Didn't I do an opening on predictive programming one time? If so, it's been months. If not, I need to do it because I've definitely thought of doing it, and I thought I did. Donated to help Jeff's family. I'm blessed to be part of this group. The generosity is truly touching. We love you, B. I love each and every one of you, Jilly Beans. Could the importance of Charlie K necklace gifted to him be because it was bugged? They needed it back. I don't know. Came late catching up. I did a deep dive into TPUSA financials, tax returns, grant funding, large dollar donations, tax returns, etc. Funsies. Now see your title and jumping its shadows. Can't wait to watch. You're going to have fun. You're going to have fun. My donation with love. Thank you, Cynthia. Small super to have a little extra for Jeff. Thank you. Donation made with God in my heart. You guys are amazing. Christ is king indeed. I wish you could meet his beautiful, kind, loving, generous wife. I mean, I wish you guys could meet who you're helping because you would be so honored. I know you're honored already to help, but you would be so honored. Much love and prayers to the Armstrong family. They must be special for our humble host to get emotional. The high IQ outfit is also a high compassion outfit. Love you, my B. It is a high compassion outfit, apparently. You guys are rolling up on six figures here. During your CK investigation, have you ever come across anything concerning Camp Williams, Utah? The National Guard post with their U.S. Army intel there, mostly reserve training, if I recall. I'm not. But that doesn't mean there's nothing to it. I just not. Can't get the picture of EK, Yahoo's son, and Tyler B out of my head. Still months later. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that was the Arizona. What was it? Arizona, Israel, something. Can we get some more designs in ladies' tanks? Nurse Casey, we have a request for more designs in ladies' tanks. Look up parallel economy, secret VIP purchasing. Okay. Heard first half hour and had time to donate to your friend before we left for church thing. Now back home and checked back in the GoFundMe total. And holy smokes, go jury. God bless you, Baron. Yeah, go jury indeed. You guys delivered. I'm going to pull it up when we finish these comments. I've got a few more to get to, and then I'm going to pull it up and we're going to all look together. God bless the Armstrong family. Christ and King indeed. Donation sent. Thank you for posting. You are a blessing. No, you guys are the blessing. That's the whole point. You guys are making it happen. Times like these make humanity's beauty shine. Christ is King indeed. Cardano's Midnight Project is the solution to maintaining internet privacy. It's worth a deep dive. If you can have internet privacy, it's worth a deep dive for sure. Herzl, founder of Zeism, great uncle to Beebster, uncle to whatever that word is, Dance of Life podcast, debate with Rabbi. I have to check it out. That sounds like one to check out. B. Baron, be honest with your jury hoodie number. It was in the 30s. I'll say that. It wasn't like 100. It was in the 30s. Don't get any more specific than that. It's weird. It's wonderful to see how this community is coming together for Jeff's family. Such a blessing. Thankful to be part of this high IQ outfit. Christ is King indeed. It's amazing. The community has come through. I'm telling you, I told my wife 5,000 to 10,000. I was like, I bet you they could come up with that. That would be such a tremendous blessing. Baron, you helped so many of us through difficult times. It's our turn to help you. Jeff's eternal soul and his family. We love you and thank you for all you continue to do. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Baron, do you think the jerky and the private club have any connection through the e-files? I don't know. And I'm starting to get sick to my stomach thinking about it. Now I got to go check this Wilson guy out. Doug Ducey comes from a mob family, Toledo, Ohio. His grandfather was infamous here in Toledo. Billy Scott, convicted bookkeeper and gambling partner with the Detroit mobs. Look more into him. All right, I got a confession. My great-grandfather was in the Detroit Mafia. So let's not hold it against everybody. He was. He was a driver, not like killing people. But he had to drive around a little bit. And then he went to work for a mob front. Allegedly. It was great-grandfather, like 3 generations away. I have nothing to do with it. Could explosive residue still be on shoes of people walking around under tent after the bang? Challenge, shave your beard if we get to 200,000. Y'all don't want to see that. Y'all don't want to see me beardless. It'll look weird. And Mrs. Coleman freaks out. The babies cry. The dog barks. Lights start going out. The smoke detectors start chirping. Like, it's bad. It's bad. You don't want to see it. But I might. You remind me so much of my dad, both part of the high IQ outfit. Number 1 fan from Williamson, Georgia. Sending so much love to you. If I never meet you on this earth, I know I'll get to shake your hand in heaven one day. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? We all meet. I mean, not soon. Let's ride this train a little longer, but wouldn't it be amazing? We all meet up. We're like fist bumping and high fiving in heaven. That would be fun. It'd be fun. Have like a big show get together. It'd be like in 10,000 years. TPUSA missed out by not redirecting to their merch site. What an amazing community you've built. Proud to be part of this high IQ outfit. That's actually a really good point. I'm surprised they didn't think of that. Knowing them. Please be the one who continues to speak the truth. They're like excellent merch pushers. Excellent. Romans 8:28. Would love to hear you read this. It got me through my cancer in 2008. I'll read it. I'll read it. I'll read it if I can find it. Yes. Here. Yes, we're close because we're in 1 Corinthians, so we got to be close. All right. Romans 8:28. I think I know this one. And this the God works together and for the good and all that. We know that in everything God works for good with those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. I told you I knew it. I didn't know it precisely, but I knew about it. Thank you. After Charlie, we needed a widow and kids to help. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. And help you did, because I want to show you what you guys have done here. Let me refresh. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to show you this. You guys aren't going to believe this, because this was like 51-ish, 52-ish thousand when we started. You guys almost hit 6 figures tonight. You almost hit 6 figures tonight. For the old. For the old and me who can't see the little type. Look at that. No, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You know, that picture wasn't taken very long ago. I think it was at Easter, a couple months ago. You know, when I met Jeff, he had really long hair. He used to wear a headband everywhere. Thank you, guys. I really genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. I'm not even going to do the whole like stuff. Guys, please remember Jesus loves you. Please. I mean, this is as much evidence as you can get of a community coming together to help people. You've genuinely helped Jeff's wife tonight and his kids, and allow her to spend some more time with them while they're grieving, so she doesn't have to rush right back into the workforce right away. I was so concerned about that. I can't tell you how many conversations I had with a few people like, she's gonna have to like go right back to work, right? Next week. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful night. I am going to do a member show tomorrow, so I'll put up a notice on that. Thank you. Say a prayer for his wife. Say a prayer for his wife and his friends. He had some of his loving friends too. So say a prayer for his friends who are missing him extra, and his beautiful kids. You guys have a good night. You're amazing. You have this is an amazing community. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.